Selamat pagi, selamat malam, dan di mana anda berada. Okay, ini adalah podcast pertama daripada Champion Podcast from Sean Chen. Jadi hari ini kita sangat bertuah kerana berjaya menjemput seorang leader yang hebat dari kalangan Google, iaitu Cikgu Jebat. So selamat datang Cikgu Jebat.
Ya, selamat datang. Terima kasih Cikgu Sean.
Ya.
Okey, baik.
Ya, sebelum jadi apa Cikgu Jebat dekat sini?
Kebetulan lah datang sini. Tengok kawan-kawan, tengok kucing. After 28 years tidak pergi politeknik, so pergi tengok balik dan besok akan pergi Singapore untuk Google for Education Champion Symposium. Itu sebab ada di sini. Tapi singgah dulu sinilah sekejap. Besok baru kita terbang.
Macam mana dengan makanan dekat Sarawak? Best tak so far atau yang kita makan dekat sini?
Makanan dekat Sarawak. Saya ingat mestilah laksa Sarawak lah. Laksa Sarawak tu memang sedap lah. Okay. Itu mesti kena cari lah. Kalau orang untuk Sean orang luar mesti kena cari tu laksa Sarawak. Dia jadi trademark lah.
Betul.
Jadi mesti kena mau ada, mau rasa lah, mesti mau rasa itu laksa Sarawak. Okay.
Ya, jadi mungkin di kalangan yang menonton tidak kenal lagi siapa Cikgu Jebat. So kali ini pun saya mau Cikgu Jebat terangkan kepada penonton siapa sebenarnya anda dan di mana asal usul anda, latar belakang anda dan macam mana kamu capai ke peringkat yang anda sudah capai pada hari ini.
Wah, kau punya soalan nasional. Yes. Iyalah, nama saya Muhammad Idrim Zizan bin Idris. So, nama tu panjang. Jadi, memang saya guna nama Jebat lah. Kan, untuk kasih pendek sebenarnya, untuk orang panggil saya mudah. Dan Jebat itu saya guna sebenarnya untuk panggilan dalam komuniti fotografi saya. So, saya ada fotografi club yang kami bagi nama Jebat Fotografi Club. Masih lagi still on. Cuma beza sudah pendekatan kami tidak sudah pergi outing. Kuranglah. Kami banyak lebih kepada memberi education ataupun berikan latihan kepada orang-orang baru. Mungkin melahirkan dia jadi juru gambar yang baiklah. Dan pengalaman tu, saya rasa saya memang sudah ditulis untuk jadi cikgu lah kan. Jadi kita pun mengajar menjadi cikgu dan sudah hampir 20 tahun dalam bidang pendidikan. Jadi disebabkan oleh perubahan sistem pendidikan sekarang.
Betul.
Jadi kita kena belajar sesuatu yang orang panggil pendigitalan tu. Jadi itu yang saya berkenalan dengan Google. Dapat berkenalan dengan Google ni satu perkara yang rezeki lah bagi saya. Dapat kenal macam mana idea kan, macam mana orang Google itu bekerja, apa yang disebut sebagai Googliness. Jadi dan saya memang bermula dengan passion sebagai orang yang suka ICT lah. Memang saya suka internet kan, daripada kita pakai 1515 TM. Betul. And then we're going to ISDN. Lepas itu kerajaan tukar ISDN tu pergi Streamex. Lepas after Streamex sekarang Unify. Betul. Kan, sekarang Starlink. Banyaklah kan, banyak provider yang hebat lah sebenarnya. Jadi disebabkan oleh itu saya jadi cikgu. Saya punya minat dengan internet itu sudah lama lah. Memang ikutlah apapun kita cari dekat internet lah. Kan masa tu orang suka main MIRC. Jadi saya pun orang main MIRC. Jadi masa itu saja kita faham macam mana orang buat channel, macam mana orang buat server webnet, server dalnet masa itu. Jadi saya punya lihat benda ni akan berkembang jauh. Jadi benda tu akan berkembang jauh. Jadi bila saya jadi cikgu, posting pertama saya tu di Escape Lahadatu. Sahabat 16 dah jauh. Jadi kalau orang ingat peristiwa di tahun 2 itu sekolah saya di sebelah. Dan selepas saya di Sahabat 16 tu, saya masih minat nih internet nih. Tapi masa itu di Sahabat 16 tidak ada internet. Saya terpaksa naik motor tu, pinjam motor, pergi Sahabat 4. Orang panggil Kampung Cendrawasih. Saya masih ingat itu dulu ada kedai internet sana. Tapi masa itu mau sewa internet mahal. 1 jam RM10. RM15 pun ada. Masa itulah. Dan waktu itu kita masuk MIRC, chatting, kita tengok apa-apa yang boleh kita belajar. Tapi internet memang masa itu memang bukan macam sekarang. Slow. Ya, tak lama saya dapat pindah pergi Payang. Kemudian ada rezeki saya dapat memulakan kehidupan di Kota Kinabalu dan akhirnya saya pindah pergi SK Likas. Di SK Likas ni lah saya mula belajar explore sesuatu benda baru lah. Benda baru, Sean. Yang orang bagi saya waktu itu baru, iaitu laman web. Ataupun orang panggil website, portal. Macam-macam lah orang sebut. Dan saya masih ingat JPN Sabah belum ada portal pada waktu itu. Belum ada portal. Dan saya masih lagi dalam, saya antara generasi yang mula-mula dengan Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sabah masa buat laman web tu. Laman web Jabatan Pendidikan Sabah tu dipegang oleh pemandu. Jadi diorang pun duduk untuk bincang macam mana mau upgrade lah. Supaya bukan macam sekarang kan semua sudah ada jadi lama-lama kita pun dapat bantu. Saya masa itu mula sudah dengan sekolah saya SK Likas kan, SK Mutiara masa itulah. Tapi saya belum pindah lagi lah. Setelah saya pindah pergi Mutiara tu dan saya dapat rezeki pindah ke SK Likas, di situlah saya mula untuk explore banyak lah.
Adakah di SK Likas menyebabkan Cikgu Jebat ada visi untuk jadi satu sekolah yang penuh dengan teknologi, penuh dengan digital atau macam mana?
Ya, di situlah mula dia. Tapi SK Likas ni bukan sekolah, bukan maksud saya bukan dia tidak hebat. Dia bukan sekolah waktu itu, bukan macam sekarang. KPM kan dia sudah ubah sistem tu, dia lebih kepada PBD, pentadsiran bilik darjah. Kita tengok kan perkembangan budak. Dulu dia more to UPSR. SK Likas bukan sekolah yang favorite untuk dapat UPSR yang tinggi, tidak ramai. Dia SK Likas ni dia lebih kepada sekolah bola sepak. Orang-orang sukan. Ini SK Likas masa itu. Jadi saya dengan kawan-kawan saya di sekolah, kami sukalah bila dapat laman web, kami rasa kami punya dunia tu, kami happy tau. Kami buat email, kami email sama-sama kami email. Kan so dia ada contoh macam saya kan, muhammadidrimzizan@sklikas.com. Kan kita boleh bagi domain kan. Itu satu. Kita rasa bangga. Masa itulah. Jadi bangga. Tapi kan cerita tu sama-sama kami saja.
Betul.
Kami tidak tahulah. Tapi saya punya pandangan waktu tu, saya memang mahu kalau boleh semua cikgu akan dapat pakai. Itu kau tahu lah kan masa itu masih lagi muda, banyak lagi idea, passion tu kan fresh daripada
Tapi saya nampak dari Facebook Cikgu Jebat, idea masih ada banyak lagi. Dari mana impak itu datang?
Itulah mungkin daripada peristiwa menang laman web peringkat negeri daripada SK Likas. Lepas itu baru pergi kita di jabatan. Bila sampai di jabatan di PPD Kota Kinabalu, banyak tengok lah. Banyak saya tengok pengalaman macam mana, mau tengok apa kekuatan semua. Dan I think itulah yang buat kita kena tengok banyak dan kemudian banyak membaca jugalah. Kan apa kita tengok apa orang buat. Kadang-kadang kita tengok wayang. Tapi dalam wayang tu ada idea. Begitu. Jadi ada orang tengok wayang tu, wayang is only a story lah. Tapi ada orang tengok wayang tu, dia buat idea. Contohnya Marvel kan.
Betul.
Tengok Marvel lah. So Marvel tu kalau orang tengok sebagai orang yang minat Marvel, dia akan anggap Marvel tu is only Marvel lah. Kan cerita dia punya Ant-Man semua kan. Tapi cuba tengok perancangan dia. Kan? Dia punya perancangan itu lain. Dia Dia sudah kasih tahu dia punya perancangan apa.
Mm-mm.
Until 2027 contoh kan, dia sudah ada wayang-wayang dia. Lepas tu kita tahu bila wayang dia akan nampak.
Betul.
Ini keluar, ini keluar, ini keluar. Sebab itu dia punya fans so tidak lari. Dan perancangan Marvel pun sudah jauh. Sebelum dia buat movie, dia sudah buat kartun. Kan begitu. Jadi benda begitu, I think sebagai cikgu lah.
Betul.
You need to ada pikiran begitu.
Mm-mm.
Kan kalau saya datang, saya dapat ini. Kenapa buat begini? Kenapa dapat gitu? So saya suka perkataan Steve Jobs.
Mm-mm.
Dan juga jadi perkataan Datuk Amin Senin, connecting the dot. Kita kena sambung lah. Kemahiran kita tu kita kena sambung. Fotografi mesti sambung dalam pendidikan. Pendidikan mesti ada fotografi. Kan? Fotografi mesti ada dalam kerjaya. Fotografi mesti ada dalam kehidupan. Ada dalam society. Begitu juga dengan internet atau Google. Anything lah. Kalau kita anggap Google saja, tak boleh. Macam kita masak nasi lah. You masak nasi saja. Boleh makan.
Betul.
Tapi sedap tak sedap? Kan? Macam itu saja. So, connecting. Ada satu lah. Ada lauk. Dia ada sayur. Dia ada buah. Ada apa kita punya air sikit. Sirap kan. So, dia jadi cantik. Begitu juga dalam kehidupan. Kalau kita ada satu kemahiran. Sebenarnya kita ada kemahiran kecil-kecil tu yang kita ada. Kita connect dia. I think dia akan jadi sangat menarik.
Macam nasi lemak lah.
Macam nasi lemak lah.
Campur sana, campur
kau
sini.
misalkan sedap kan? Cuba kau ada nasi, kau ada apa sambal saja.
Betul.
Tak sedap kan? Di antara kau sambal sama pisang sama itu kopi. Ini ada something wrong ni orang hantar gitu kan. Jadi itulah yang menyebabkan saya tengok itu idea. InsyaAllah satu kita we need to pray lah. Kita kena minta dengan Tuhan juga, dengan Allah untuk kita dapat idea lah. Itu kita tidak boleh daripada kita. Mesti ada source yang akan bagi kita. Tapi kita kena tengok semua yang berlaku, yang kita nampak di mana saja. Contoh kalau kita mau pergi Singapura kan, kita akan dapat pelajaran. Kita akan tengok orang, jumpa orang, a new idea, dia punya tempat, dia punya sekolah. Sebab itu Sean, saya suka more to travelling. Sebab bila kita travelling, kita nampak apa yang orang punya idea. Bila kita jumpa orang baru, kita dapat idea baru, betul? Kalau kau in the same circle, same tempat duduk, same, dia akan, the result will be the same. Itulah satu yang saya mungkin lain sikit kot dia kan.
Cakap tentang ini kan, saya pun rasa pendengar, saya rasa pendengar pun setuju. Mungkin yang mau tanya juga what if connecting the dot itu dikunting oleh satu-satu pihak yang mau menghalang pencitaran itu berlaku? Apa nasihat kamu kepada juru-juru itu?
Connecting the dot. Mesti apa yang kita mau buat tu kalau tidak ada cabaran, dia tidak best. Kan betul tak? Kalau kita contohlah kita mau buat sesuatu, dalam kehidupan ini mesti begitulah. Dia memang sudah tertulis begitu. Bila kita, dalam kita punya kesusahan ada senang. Dalam kita punya senang ada susah. Dia memang begitu. Bila ada putih, dia ada hitam. Kan? Dia ada hitam, mesti ada putih. Jadi, we need to be ready with that. Kita jangan anggap, contohnya kita, hari ini, kita ada seorang ketua yang sokong kita. Okay? 5 tahun kita bersama ketua tu, dia sokong. Mungkin, ketua ni pindah. Masuk satu ketua yang tidak sokong kita, we need to ready a plan B. Ready lah plan B. Dan kemudian janganlah terus menyalahkan kita punya ketua. Dia ketua kita. Leader is always be a leader. Kita kena hormat dia. Mungkin pendekatan kita kena ubahlah. Kan orang sudah lain, mungkin bila orang baru masuk dia kena berubah. Kita kena berubah. Kita kena dynamic. Kita kena ikut cara kita macam mana saya mau tackle. Sebab ketua ni dia suka sesuatu yang akan menaikkan organisasi dia lah. Kalau kau buat sesuatu yang menjatuhkan organisasi dia dan tidak dengar apa yang dia cakap atau tidak mengambil pandangan dia memang tak suka. Itu salah satu pendekatan kita. Jangan terus just blame, Kan? Kadang-kadang dia bermula dengan diri kita juga.
Betul.
Kadang-kadang orang ICT dia dan sebagai pentadbir pun perlu faham secara keseluruhan kekuatan dia. Macam kami pentadbir kan, kami dididik untuk SWOT. To know the strength, tahu dia punya kelebihan, tahu dia punya opportunity, kan, tahu dia punya ancaman. Jadi kalau dalam tempat tu kita sudah tahu, senang untuk kita guna itulah dia untuk yang ada tu untuk jadi kekuatan kita. Itu satulah Sean dia. Dan don't stop, jangan komplain lah. Jangan, bukan bilang apa, kita bukan tak mau komplain, tapi cara kita tu mungkin kita boleh ubah. Kan, kadang-kadang bila komplain ni pun datang dari pentadbir juga. Mungkin pentadbir tak mau dengar.
Betul.
Kan, satu. Jadi, dan mungkin juga cara kita komplain dengan pentadbir pun kita kena ambil kira juga. Jangan terus cakap-cakap-cakapkan air muka pentadbir. Sebab pentadbir ni manusia biasa, Pak Sean.
Betul.
Kan, jadi itu satu yang kita kena ambil kira. Satu, bagi saya, bila kita belajar sesuatu ataupun kita mau buat sesuatu, pertama sekali mesti adab. Kita punya attitude to the guru kan. Macam kita belajar kungfu lah.
Betul.
Mana kau boleh terus diajarkan, tidak. Dia mau tengok dulu kau punya attitude. Baru dia ambil you jadi anak murid. Kan, okey, buat ini. Itu satu yang I think akan ada yang tidak setuju. Sebab pendidikan kita yang macam contohnya macam kita di belakangan ada satu generasi yang sudah lepas daripada kita. Tidak sama macam mana dia orang belajar. Macam contoh kan, macam kita cerita 3 tahun yang depan ni pasal Google ni kan, education.
Betul.
Ke depan lagi orang sudah start cerita AI.
Betul.
Tak sama kan? Jadi itu benda yang kita kena ready. Memang akan ada perubahan. Mungkin nanti ketua baru, dia tak mau cerita ni sebab bukan zaman dia. Zaman dia semua typewriter. Jadi kita kena faham tu. Perlahan-lahan kita masuk, bagi dia sesuatu yang menganggap bahawa pendigitalan ini penting. Bukan untuk dia, tapi untuk yang kita ajar di sekolah. Baru dia boleh akan ada faham. So, benda ni perlu masa dan sabar. Dan kita kena berdoa.
Selalu kalau cakap masa, jurujebat rasa selalunya kalau untuk berjaya perlu berapa lama? Berdasarkan pengalaman jurujebat.
Pengalaman lah
sebagai
kan.
cikgu dan sebagai pentadbir.
Ya, okey. Sebagai cikgu, kalau kita yakin apa yang kita buat dan perancangan itu ada, I think you boleh buat 1 tahun pun you boleh buat sebenarnya. Tapi mesti ada perancangan. Macam kita jalan lah. Kan, bila kita jalan, kita sudah tahu di mana kita mau stop, apa kita mau makan, berapa duit kita mau bawa.
Betul.
Kan, kita sudah tahu. Jadi kalau kita yakin, means yakin tu a hope. Doa kita pada Tuhan jugalah untuk kita buat benda tu dan dia akan jadi. Tapi kalau kita tidak yakin, dia akan kadang-kadang ada yang perlahan-lahan kan. Mungkin 3 tahun, mungkin 5 tahun. Tapi masih berjaya bagi saya. Jadi kejayaan tu bukan bergantung kepada berapa cepat you boleh buat. Tapi berapa banyak yang you boleh produce kan jadi orang yang macam yang you mau. Dia orang ICT, berapa orang. Takkan nanti 5 tahun you masih lagi you lagi. Kan? Kan lah 18 tahun masih juga you masih buat kerjasama.
Betul.
Tidak boleh penat. You akan penat, Sean. Bila you sudah ramai orang yang boleh buat kerja yang sama ataupun ramai trainer, kan? Kerja jadi senang. You cuma akan buat satu perkara yang you pikir, dia orang akan bantu untuk contribute apa yang you pikir. Jadi kerja jadi senang. Itu yang bolehlah sebenarnya depends on you. Berapa kuat you punya perancangan. Okey, tapi mesti ada target. 1 year, saya sudah capai. Macam itulah satu Sean.
Tadi kita cakap tentang cikgu. Jadi kalau kita terbalik, pentadbir yang mahu buat perubahan tapi cikgu tak mau buat perubahan, apa nasihat cikgu jebat kepada pentadbir yang sangat positif tentang ini tapi cikgu dia tidak positif? Macam mana? Apa nasihat? Nah, apa?
Ya, ini pun cabaran juga ini kebanyakannya kadang-kadang ada pentadbir yang sangat positif tapi guru-guru banyak sangat masalah. Saya tidak tidak sangkal bahwa ini juga pernah berlaku dengan saya lah. Jadi saya cerita based on my pengalaman. Satu, saya anggap hitam tidak akan boleh campur dengan warna putih. Orang-orang yang tidak mau kerja ni, dia tidak akan boleh duduk dengan orang yang bekerja. Kan? Macam jugalah helang tidak boleh duduk dengan pipit.
Betul.
Tak dapat duduk punya. Memang dia, sebab dia besar, dia kuat. Kan? Jadi orang yang bekerja ni automatically dia punya aura dia akan tarik orang yang bekerja. Nah, tak perlu risau. Just do your work. Kita tidak perlu takut benda yang nanti dia akan mempengaruhi. Sebab bila kita percaya dengan kita punya faith ataupun kepercayaan kita, saya percaya orang yang tidak bekerja ni akan sendiri akan terkeluar. Dia akan perlu masalah. Sebab dia tidak tahan. Tahu tak? Hati dia tidak tahan tengok, semua kerja jadi semua. Kalau dia tak bekerja. Nah, jadi ini pentadbir kena bersabar. Sebab kita perlu masa. Macam pentadbir tu dia perlu masa. Tapi dia kena ada perancangan. Jangan nanti orang komplain, sudah. Kan?
Memang ada ke pentadbir jenis ini?
Ada, memang ada juga yang kadang-kadang dia tidak tahan dengan teguran, tidak tahan dengan, memang ada Syul. Tapi bukan maknanya dia tidak boleh jadi pentadbir, tapi itu kelemahan yang saya anggap kelebihan. Kelemahan tapi saya anggap kelebihan untuk dia boleh tengoklah apa yang dia boleh buat supaya dia jadi kekuatan sebenarnya. Ya, itu memang ada. Tidak ada semua pentadbir yang mesti macam cikgu jebat. Tidak, bukan semestinya. Mungkin waktu
cikgu jebat idol kan.
Sekarang sudah upgrade icon lah kan. Tapi itu rezeki lah tu bagi saya Syul. Jadi sebenarnya perlu ada persediaan. Dan lagi satu, pentadbir kena ada ilmu lah. Paling penting sekali ilmu lah Syul. Kalau you pergi masuk satu tempat you tak tahu nak buat, susah. Macam you mau ternak ayam lah tapi tak ada ilmu. Main buat saja, apa kita ikut saja, tak boleh. Ini mesti kena ada ilmu, mengurus. Lepas tu bercakap. Itu ilmu. Ilmu yang tidak ada tempat lain, you kena belajar. Lepas tu berfikir, banyak membaca, itu. Banyaklah benda. Tapi jangan lupa untuk sentiasa berdoa. So kita minta guide bah. Kita mesti kena guide mana kita mau pergi. Kan itu salah satu yang kita, ini to believe lah. Apa yang you buat, you percaya. Dan kita, apa yang kita cakap. Kalau kita cakap tak boleh, tak dapatlah. Bila you bangun pagi, it's a new day. Kan? A new day, you kena sebut. Saya orang yang hebat dan cemerlang. Saya hebat. Contoh di Kuching kan. Saya hebat di Kuching. Saya hebat dalam kelompok Google. Then the say adalah doa for you. Jadi itu sebab dia aura tu keluar. Tapi kalau kau bangun pagi, malaslah. Nanti. Dia akan datang balik. Okay. Itu satu yang you kena. Law of attraction. Kau akan tarik aura itu. Sebab itu bila kita bangun, ataupun kadang-kadang ada orang, bila dia letak satu music ataupun tu, dia akan cakap, I'm very strong money magnet. I'm very strong. Dia ulang. Jadi itu minda kita akan sudah set. Dia akan set. So people will like you. Yeah, people love me. People love me. People love me. 10 kali lama-lama orang akan betul rasa senang dengan kita. Tapi kalau kau dengan kita punya diri pun kita curse, memang kita akan dapat something yang, sebab Tuhan sudah cipta kita cantik Syul.
Betul.
Kenapa kita mau curse diri kita? Kenapa kita mau salahkan diri kita? Apapun yang ada dengan diri kita, walaupun nampak kurang di mata orang lain, tapi kita sudah lengkap sebenarnya. Itu saya punya pandangan lah untuk Syul. Untuk pentadbir lah terutamanya.
Dan kalau kita berterusan cakap tentang pentadbir, saya rasa banyak di kalangan penonton kita pun agak pun mau tahu, kena selalu kalau kita tonton webinar, kita hanya sekilas pandang saja, tahu yang semua dapat trainer, dapat level 1, level 2. Macam mana cikgu Jebat buat itu? Ini yang saya rasa kurang disentuh. Saya mau sentuh dekat bekas ini. Ya.
Level 1, level 2.
Macam mana?
Terutamanya di sekolah untuk murid-murid lah. Atau I mean guru-guru lah. Okay. Mula-mula kena bagi tahu diorang kepentingan lah. Akan KPM mau pergi mana. Kalau you tidak buat pun tak rugi. Tahu betul tidak rugi. Tapi KPM mau pergi mana? You need to know that we are going for the digital world kan.
Betul.
Dia sekarang memang sudah digital world pun. Ya, kau kena buka dengan kau punya pendigitalan juga. Kita bukan suruh kau 100% mesti buat pendigitalan. Ada masa kita tulis juga. Tapi at least 80% pun sudah cukup bagus.
Apa yang juga sudah buat dekat sekolah yang sudah fully digital yang orang pun tak tahu yang boleh di-share?
I think kalau di sekolah tu saya rasa saya sudah mula untuk buat buku kawalan kelas in digital. Kemudian pengurusan maklumat sekolah saya pun sudah digital. Dan saya punya HAM pun ya baru-baru ini dibentang di Google Malaysia tu. Dia punya temu janji pun dia buat pendigitalan dengan ibu bapa. So kemudian sekarang my co-curriculum, saya bagi dia orang cuba untuk ubah cara kerja tu pergi pendigitalan. So saya tidak mau mesti ikut macam saya. Okay, what you want to do? Apa yang you buat? Boleh tak tambah sedikit? Saya cakap begitu saja. Boleh tak tambah sedikit tentang pendigitalan? Saya tidak minta banyak. Betul. Tapi bila saya minta sedikit tu dia jadi besar. Dan dia orang bila kita buat, ada waktunya kadang-kadang pentadbir ni dia lupa. Pasal dia banyak kerja lah saya anggapkan. Bagi dia kredit saja. People want to be recognized. Yes, kita bagi dia. Kan terima kasih. Kan ataupun dalam WhatsApp bagi bunga, love kan sikit. Jadi senang hati. Cikgu baca dalam WhatsApp itu dia tanya. Ada bunga lagi kan. Ada lagi senyum. Sean faham kan rasa perasaan cikgu dia rasa I want to do more. Dia macam murid juga. Kalau kita buat kerja salah sikit asyik marah dia buat tak? Tak buat. Situ yang bertambahlah daripada kokem. Saya tengok kami pun sudah ada laman web rasmi. Laman web rasmi itu bagi saya adalah identiti untuk satu sekolah. Sekarang, this time untuk dunia digital sekarang. Kalau kau buka ni, belum ada domain sendiri, you are nobody. Sekarang betul lah, you are nobody. Jadi kami sudah mula buat semua panitia tu mesti pelaporannya dalam site. So lah boleh baca nampak site tu. Jadi tapi tidak lupalah untuk file-file yang diperlukan oleh Nazir, benda-benda yang diperlukan oleh PPD, kita print out lah masuk dalam file.
Berapa peratus sekolah jurujubat sekarang yang paper dan berapa peratus yang digital sudah sekarang?
Untuk tugas-tugas yang perlu tu memang kita pun sudah more than 70 to 75 lah. Kita memang banyak ERPH kan. Jadi memang pada mulanya memang macam sekolah lain juga dia orang minta buat pilihan. Kan. Jadi pilihan ini satu mana-mana yang tak boleh internet semua tidak pandai ICT bolehlah menulis. Saya cakap apa? No. You need to ERPH 100%. Jadi diorang tanya saya kenapa GB cakap begitu. Bila lagi mau belajar?
Betul juga.
Kan? Kalau kamu bagi dua pilihan, lama-lama orang semua main tulis balik.
Ya.
Akhirnya apa yang berlaku? Sekolah saya 100% ERPH. There's nothing harm.
Betul.
Kalau diorang tidak boleh buat, kita ikut saja guide RPH yang sekarang. Yang sekarang kan dia sudah mudah.
Betul.
Isi sajalah apa yang kita boleh buat. KPM sudah kasih mudah urusan kita. Tapi jangan kasih susah, complicated lah. Kan? Kenapa mau kasih susah? Jadi memang ada mula-mula tu minta buat dua pilihan. Saya kata no. So kalau saya tidak, iyalah sebab saya ketua. Kalau tidak, saya sudah nampak. Kalau saya ada dua pilihan, orang akan berat pilih menulis tu.
Pelik kan? Bagi senang masih mau tulis.
Nah, jadi sekarang alhamdulillah mula-mula saja okeylah dia lama-lama dia sudah jadi budaya. Jadi sekarang dia orang sudah senang. Hantar saja. Hantar. Jadi kita pun iyalah kita remind. Tugas saya remind lah. Please hantar. Okey tolong hantar ini ya. Saya punya tugas itu tugas saya. Cikgu ni bukan dia tidak buat. dia memang akan buat, tapi remind saja dia. Dan jangan paksa. Yang mesti hantar. Mana surat? Itu dia jadi nanti hubungan tidak bagus. Bagi tahu saya sekali, pasal cikgu-cikgu ni dia begitu. Kalau Sean dan untuk pengetahuan Sean, kalau di sekolah saya itu murid datang lewat pun kita masuk dalam pakai app sheet. Guru saya punya pengawal keselamatan pun scan app sheet.
Bestnya.
Kan saya punya tukang kebun tidak datang, isi app sheet. Jadi saya tahulah siapa tidak datang, dia pergi mana, saya tahu. Tapi untuk keberangkalian dia orang selalu tidak datang tu sikit berbanding dengan guru. Guru kan dia akan isi dia punya keberadaan dan kita pun terus buat macam itu. Itu salah satulah yang berlakulah Sean sebenarnya untuk orang bilang saya punya sekolah lah. Jadi kalau kau tanya saya level 1, level 2, bila kita bagi kesedaran dulu kepada diorang, baru diorang ambil. Mula-mula tu memang diorang ambil kerana saya ketua. Tapi kali kedua, kita bagi kumpulan, diorang sudah mau ambil sendiri. Sekarang lagi best, bila diorang sendiri mau jadi trainer. Dan sekolah saya, kalau sekiranya insya Allah lulus yang lain ini, saya ada lebih kurang 8 ke 9 trainer.
Tanya.
Trainer untuk Google Educator. Bukan saya seorang. Saya rasa tidak happy saya kalau hanya saya satu orang. Macam itulah saya Sean.
Dan cakap tentang GEG, Google Educator Group, saya pun nampak cikgu juga sangat socialize dengan banyak orang dan kenal banyak GEG dari tempat lain. Apa keajaiban itu? Apa miracle itu? Mungkin cikgu-cikgu dekat luar yang sudah salut cikgu Jebat, tak pernah jumpa cikgu Jebat in person, mau tahu rahsia itu.
Okeylah.
Yes, how do that come?
Kita kawan lah, kita buat kawan lah. Di segi tu, I think buat kawan tu means build your networking lah. Tidak kira lah di mana pun you buat kawan. Tapi jangan ambil kepentingan awal untuk kita punya kepentingan untuk kawan itu. Kita baik kawan saja.
Betul.
Sebab kawan-kawan tu kadang-kadang dia perlukan kita punya hikmat. Kadang-kadang perlu masa juga untuk dia kenal kita. Tapi kalau macam kita dalam kelompok GG, dan saya rasa saya sudah masuk tahun kedua dengan GG kan, as a leader, saya sudah mula faham. GG ni, dia punya networking global. Kan, one globe, satu dunia. You boleh pergi mana? You boleh pergi Afghanistan, you boleh pergi Maroko contoh, ya kan? You boleh pergi Singapura, you boleh pergi Jakarta, Indonesia, semua ada GEG. Dan orang yang mengajar aplikasi yang sama. Betul. Kan, cuma bahasa berbeza.
You pergi cikgu Jebat kepada cikgu-cikgu yang baru start mau masuk GEG dan mau belajar dari semua GCE ke semua ke, apa nasihat cikgu Jebat tentang hal ini? What's your advice?
Okay. Memandangkan KPM dan juga kita pun sekarang berada dalam pendigitalan. So cari ruang lah untuk cari GEG yang boleh kita belajar, yang dekat dengan kita lah. Tapi kalau GG tu slow, kena carilah yang aktif kan. Jadi kadang-kadang bukan diorang tidak aktif, cuma mungkin bebanan tugas di lapangan lebih penting. Kadang-kadang tu bukan GG. Saya percaya semua leader pun yang terbaik diorang kena lantik. So carilah mana-mana yang sesuai dengan kita. Itu paling penting lah, sebab GG ni is NGO. Kan, non-government organisation. Jadi senang untuk kita bekerja sebenarnya. Kalau kita sudah tahu pun, kalau kita macam ada kawan untuk join GG, jadi GG tu akan bantulah, banyak bantu. Terutamanya kalau dia memang aktif, dia akan bantu. Dan kemudian bila sudah kita dapat ruang untuk berada dalam GG, kita bantulah GG tu. Kan apa yang kita dapat, kita bagilah balik dengan GG. Diorang pun mungkin perlukan tenaga kita, orang baru. Kan, sentiasalah tanya apa yang kita boleh contribute for the GEG kan macam tu.
Mm-mm.
Itu jadi jangan kita hanya fikir apa yang kita dapat dari GEG tapi tidak mau contribute balik. Kan kadang-kadang diorang perlu orang untuk jaga booth kan. Mungkin itu antara contribution kita. Kita dapat free
Betul.
kan. Jadi kita bagilah masa sikit untuk GEG. Ni kadang-kadang bila GEG minta tolong mau jaga booth apa semua tak mau. Semua ada ni kan. Jadi siapa mau jaga? Takkan you nak yang besar-besar saja tapi yang kecil tak boleh jaga.
Betul.
Kan kita kena ada empathy lah. Jadi rakan-rakan guru yang baru, pergi cari GG. Sebab it's a Google Educator Group. Dia tidak boleh ditubuhkan kalau Google tidak appoint you. Jadi ini salah satu penghormatan dan dia punya aura lain. Bekerja tidak sama dengan berada di dalam you punya organisasi JPN ke PPD, tidak sama. Okay, dan I think di situ tempat you boleh asah you punya creativity, you mau berkarya. So itu different dia lah, ada sesuatu yang dia macam curriculum, co-curriculum. Macam mana faham tak? Tapi dia mesti ada connection. Itu yang saya cakap, dia mesti ada connection. Curriculum yang kita buat di sekolah, dia punya cara mengembangkan kurikulum itu dengan co-curriculum. So itulah ada GG itu. Macam itu jugalah. Masa kita bekerja itu, waktu terluang, yes, that kita perlukan GG. Kalau terutamanya untuk Google lah, untuk Google punya part banyak kan. Sebab dia moto, saya tengok Google ni dia punya kekuatan itu adalah collaboration. Dia punya kekuatan itu. Dia mesti kolaborasi. Dia tidak boleh alone. Kalau you perasan Google mesti collaborate. Itu salah satu yang saya punya dan pergi join lah. Tapi kalau kita join GG tu dia tidak aktif, you boleh cari GG lain. Tengok keaktifan you. Kalau you memang teruja, jangan tunggu kan. You nampak sudah dan sekarang ni you boleh tengok di Facebook, boleh tengoklah di Twitter, di X kan, di Instagram, you boleh nampak tu banyak GG yang aktif di luar sana. Dan sekarang tidak macam dulu, Sean.
Betul.
You kena beli tiket pergi mana-mana kan. Sekarang you just on internet, buka, you sudah ada di US. Kan you boleh check up lagi kan. Apatah lagi you bila jadi you trainer. You duduk dalam trainer tu, you duduk dalam satu forum yang besar, satu dunia, semua ada. Dari Australia ada, daripada Germany ada, semua ada, dari Mexico semua ada. Jadi itu satu yang cerita benda yang sama. It's about Google in education. Macam tu. Itu kena carilah.
So dari Pedabil ke GEG kita sudah bincang sudah. So apa harapan cikgu cepat dekat cikgu yang akan tune in podcast ini untuk dengar? Apa matlamat anda? Apa hal tuju yang cikgu cuba mahu pendengar kita capai? Yes.
Bila kita mau sesuatu kan, kita kena buktikan dengan diri kita. Kita kena korbankan apa sesuatu. Bila kita suka buat sesuatu, passion lah. Kita datang with passion lah. Kita buat pun mesti in full dengan sepenuh hati lah. You buat. Jadi kalau you rasa berbagi-bagi, jangan buat. Nanti dia punya result pun bagi-bagi juga, Sean. You pergi buat bagus-bagus. You want to be a leader, buat leader betul-betul. Jangan bukan bilang kita tak boleh buat benda lain, tapi mana yang lebih priority with you nak buat. Lagipun you akan tahu diri you macam mana. Kalau you buat kerja sini separuh, sana separuh, jadi tak habis, tak lengkap. Jadi buat bagus-bagus kan. Kalau boleh kalau ada GG, so jadi GG yang baik. Jadi GG yang mendidik. Betul-betul kita ajar orang, kita bantu orang dan orang lain akan bantu kita lah. Buat yang terbaik lah. Itu setiap harapan saya dan selalu pikir yang baik lah. Jangan pikir negatif. Nanti negatif ni datang sama kita. You just be positif. Walaupun benda yang berlaku kita tu tak berapa bagus, tapi pikir positif saja dulu. Stay positif. Mungkin ada sebab. There's a reason kenapa. Mungkin ini, kita tidak tahu. Kan? Itu je saya punya nasihat, Sean. Untuk kawan-kawan yang dengar ni, so kena fikir yang besar lah. Bercita-cita biar besar. Kan? Tapi pastikan ada perancangan dan buat networking dengan kawan-kawan dan ambil peluang. Peluang tak datang selalu. Jangan tunggu. Kadang-kadang KPM bagi benda free pun tak mau ambil peluang. Jadi rugi. Kan? Jadi mudah-mudahan dan jangan lepaskan peluang lah. Itu saya lah, Sean. I think. Okay?
Dan untuk pentadbir-pentadbir yang dengar juga kan, saya rasa mereka pun ada soalan. Bolehkah mereka buat benchmark dengan cikgu Jubat? Macam mana mereka boleh cari cikgu Jubat? Ada boleh drop kat sini, mungkin saya akan letak dekat sini.
Ya.
How they can, macam mana mereka boleh cari kamu? Yes, cikgu Jubat.
Okay, cari saya di Facebook lah. Facebook boleh, Twitter pun saya ada. Okay, cari je Cikgu Jebat. So ataupun Jebat Legacy itu memang nama saya juga. So dulu saya memang peruntukkan nama tu untuk fotografi. Tapi sekarang I think everybody know me as Cikgu Jebat. So cari saya dekat Facebook. Boleh cari saya di Twitter, boleh cari saya di Instagram. So kalau mau panggil saya untuk bagi pengalaman, just carilah dekat situ. And I think tapi sekarang ini pun memang sudah jadual sangat ketat. So bulan depan saya akan berada di Lahadatu dan kemungkinan ada lagi program yang diorang sudah blok masa saya untuk bersama diorang dan perancangan pun untuk GG itu pun banyak. Dan tahun depan pun kita akan nak buat ke Google Jakarta. Jadi banyaklah
issue base-nya.
Banyaklah kita kena. Boleh cari saya lah, nanti kita boleh I think siapa yang nak kolaboratif pun boleh. So kalau siapa yang ada GG dan dia berasa GG dia perlukan motivasi untuk jadi macam mana GG Kota Kinabalu pun boleh, tak ada masalah. Tapi kena ni lah. Kan kadang-kadang ada orang dia perlu tu. Dia perlu sokongan lah, Sean, macam tu. Jadi untuk pentadbir cari saja. Kalau perlu apa yang boleh saya bantu dan kebetulan memang free, saya bantu insyaAllah. Okay.
Jadi jangan lupa untuk mencari Cikgu Jebat. Dan sebelum kita mengakhiri podcast episod pertama, ya, ini memang episod pertama dan terima kasih kepada Cikgu Jebat kerana beliau memang ambil peluang ini untuk berbekas dengan saya, Cikgu Sean. Ya, jadi sebelum kita akhiri podcast ini, saya bagi Cikgu Jebat 3 laksa. Laksa Penang, laksa Johor, laksa Sarawak. Laksa yang mana satu paling bagus?
Alamak, kalau sebut laksa ni ada macam... Saya besar Penang. So saya akan pilih laksa Penang.
Jadi laksa Penang pemenang untuk episod kali ini. Ya, saya harap saya akan tanya lagi untuk itu kita punya new punya guest nanti akan tanya lagi. So ya, mungkin kalau ada sambutan dari podcast ini, mungkin Cikgu Jebat pun akan jadi co-host. We will never know.
Boleh.
So this is just the beginning. So thank you Cikgu Jebat. Thank you. Terima kasih kepada semua pendengar. So itu saja daripada saya. Champion Podcast from Sean Chen. That's all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Let's celebrate the educators who are shaping the future, one classroom at a time. This is the Champions Podcast. Let the journey begin. Welcome to the Champions Podcast.
All right. So good morning to all, good afternoon, and wherever you watch. So this is the Champion Podcast. I'm your host, Sean. So today we are very grateful for our second episode. We are going to talk with the founder of Global Teacher Conversation, Miss Atika. So yeah, let us invite her in. So hello, Miss Atika. How are you today?
Hello, Sean. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me here on the podcast. So glad to be here.
All right. So to start off, Miss Atika, could you tell us a little bit more about yourself and your background and what led you to become a teacher today? Yeah, can you tell our audience? Yeah.
Sure. First of all, hello everyone. So my name is Atika Nazir. As common Malays, we have very long names, but I would just let you know that my name is Atika Nazir. I'm currently in Cheras, Selangor. So I have a few like stages in my life before coming to where I am right now. I will put it into episodes like before being a teacher to after being a teacher. So I graduated with degree in legal studies. So actually was on the way to become a practicing lawyer if I wanted to. I instead of becoming a practicing lawyer, I practiced law by doing industrial relations at multinational companies last time. So I work for quite a few years, and then in the year 2018, I joined a fellowship called Teach for Malaysia, where I teach in Methodist Girls' School Klang for 2 years until 2019. And then after the fellowship ended, I decided to explore other stuff. But still, I'm still in the realm of education. So instead of teaching in the classroom, now what I'm doing is I'm investing my time into educator development, things like personal and professional growth, skills and capacity building. So after teaching in 2019, I was involved in program designs and projects like content, creating content for teachers and educators, doing modules for financial literacy, media information literacy, and other stuffs. Yeah, like Sean has mentioned, also co-founder to Global Teacher Conversation. So that was founded in the year 2021. We started the talk in the year 2020 during the heights of the pandemic. So Global Teacher Conversation is a community for educators. So basically, during the time of the pandemic was a very, I'd say, is a very sensitive and very speed up year for everybody. Like everybody needs to learn something new fast. Everybody needs to take up technology fast. Everybody needs to learn to convert their traditional classroom into digital classroom. And teachers are bombarded with all those trainings, all those technical knowledge and stuff. But I know all teachers, a lot of my friends, they are very resilient. They like yourself also, you also like a lot of teachers, a lot of educators take this as a, oh yes, you need to do this. Education must go on, right? Despite the pandemic going, because we cannot have education loss, because that will be a crisis if education is to stop. So what we do at Global Teacher Conversation is not really about supporting teachers with all these tools and technologies, but supporting them to create a community where they find friends, they find support, they find inspiration. Because we believe that through talking to each other, through conversation, sometimes things that you think at first are very difficult to do, after you talk to your friend, oh yeah, I I think this idea is feasible. Oh, your idea is maybe something that I can do at my school. Maybe I can try. Or sometimes you think, oh, this is too much for me to handle alone. But after talking to few other friends, oh, we can share our classroom, so the burden can be lessened. Yeah. So
Ah.
these are the things.
So let me stop you there. Now, talking about inspiration, where do you inspire to initiate the global teacher conversation? Where do that start come on? We want to know the origin also. Yeah. Where do you
The
start from,
origin.
and what is the core mission so that more listeners that listen to this podcast might want to join in later on. So yeah, can you talk more about that too?
Right, sure. Like all the cinematic universe, like all the universe, GPC also have its own origin story. Right. So in 2020, I was on a video catch-up call with my friend Kichi Takahashi in Japan. So Kichi was a Teach for Japan fellow, like I was a Teach for Malaysia fellow. That's how we met through the Teach for All network. Um, but he's still teaching now. So during the year 2020, I think it was around after Christmas. So like one day after Christmas. So we catch up on the call. We talk about a lot of things basically, like life and all of that. But most of the things that we talked about centered around education and how education have changed with the coming of the pandemic, right? So we were asking each other, hey, what happened to teachers in Japan? What happened to teachers in Malaysia? Have you heard about stories from your other friends? How are they coping in classroom? How are they coping at home? Things like this. So it suddenly it occurs to us to think, hey, do you think we are the only one who are feeling the impact or the effect of the pandemic? Do you think our other friends in the education circle also feeling the same? So we're thinking, oh, we need to get to the bottom of this and see if other educators are also feeling the same, right? Like feeling trapped or feeling almost close to burnout, or they're feeling, oh, there's nothing more I can do, right? Um, or they're feeling, oh, there's too many things I need to do. So after we got to talking, so Kichi reached out to another friend, so Takahiro. So Taka ran an English intervention program in Japan. So we got the three of us to get to talking. So we talked and we decided, hey, why not we start a conversation platform? Yeah. We don't want it to be so rigid. We didn't want it to be so formal, like, right? So we want it to be casual. Like if I'm talking to you, then there's no one telling you, hey, your English is wrong, this is the correct grammar or anything. Then it will feel just like us talking to friends, right? So that's how we started UGC. So we put all the action plans into execution. And in February 2021, we had our first meet and greet before we did a 6 month long GTC 2021 chapter.
So I believe this conversation actually also align with some of your goals. If you don't mind, can you describe or share your goals? Okay, key goals and objective of global teacher movement that you two both created together. Yeah, what are the goals? Key goals. Yeah. And
Yeah. So when we started to think about how to get other teachers involved in our conversation, the initial conversation, we also think of this foundational question. So this foundational question that we asked ourselves was, if we could provide one kind of support to teachers and educators, right? What kind of support that we can best provide everyone with? So that's how we come with the structure of GTC, come up with the structure of GTC and the very system that we have now. And we wanted to focus on personal capacity building. Yeah. And number one is personal capacity building. Number two is providing a safe space where teachers can come as a community, exchange with each other, have a conversation, talk with each other, and collaborate using the network that they have in the community. Yeah, so they can either come up with a idea, like, oh, I have this kind of project, I'm looking for partner, or they can ask for other people's experience. Things like, I'm thinking of doing this project A, have you done it before? So you basically leveraging on other people's knowledge and experiences as well.
So any success stories so far, and what are the impact that you have seen on teachers and education system around the world since you involve teachers around the world, right? So far,
Right.
the impact that you have seen, in the movement.
This kind of words is really well, we will not say so much like an impact or a success story. We'd love to see it as a stories of growth. Because some of these programs are still ongoing, but I can share with you guys a few stories that was organized and hosted by our own members. So, like I mentioned just now, so members get together with other members to host new programs or do projects together, right? So, member to member program, there's this teacher from Sabah, and Michelle. Yeah. And Michelle, she collaborated with Amy in Japan, Saitama, Japan. So they both did a simultaneous classroom together for 2 years. So they shared their classroom for over 2 years now, and their collaboration is still ongoing. So a lot of it centers around exchange of knowledge and culture and also English activities. And then we also have Hayati. So Hayati teaches at college vocational club. Yeah, vocational college club. So Hayati and Divya at India. So they organize a program called Program SOCH, SOCH. Yeah, this is a cultural exchange program. So Divya student together with Hayati students, they held conversations and they exchange knowledge on cultures and heritage together. So that's another story. When I say growth, story of growth, like Hayati mentioned to us quite a few times that she started as someone who doesn't believe that she can actually speak in English. Right? I think this kind of assumption that we have upon each other, upon ourselves, really, is that oh, my English is not good. I'm not good in English, right? Things like this. But she said, upon joining the session, and upon the reassurance that everyone there is at the same space, at the same level as hers, she doesn't have to think that, oh, she's inferior to other people. Because we make it a point in GTC that all the educators involved must not have English as their first language. Yeah. So we don't have people from the UK, we don't have people from the US. So everyone there would not think, oh, my English is bad. No. Because if you think your English is bad, everybody also thinking the same. Right? Yeah. So Hayati has gone through so much transformation, like from thinking that she couldn't hold a conversation in English to now actually collaborating together with India from India. And that was, a wonderful growth to see.
All right. So yeah, let's give applause to those teachers. Since we talk about success, I believe there are some challenges and obstacles along the way. So, what challenges have you encountered as the co-founder of GTC? Okay, while try promoting global teacher collaboration, and how do you address them? Yeah, we also want to know about this. Yeah.
Sure. I'll pick up two. Number one, although we say that we have a lot of stories of growth, and achievement from members, GTC is also a learning journey for myself as a co-founder and the person who hosts it and the person who designs our sessions. So the challenge was in terms of, I would not say challenge, but I would say experience. It gives me a lot of opportunity to, manage a lot of different kind of people, and also give me a lot of opportunity to realize that it's okay to work differently or be different. Um, for example, when we were working as a strategic partner for Fukuoka Girls Commercial High School for Let's Explore program, so we were in a team. So there are a lot of things like they do differently than how we do things in Malaysia, for example. So in terms of design, sometimes in terms of managing. So one thing I definitely learned was to sustain judgment. So instead of asking, why is your certificate designed this way? In terms of certificates, why is your certificate designed this way? I learned to take an interest into their way of doing things. So instead of asking why you design certificate this way, I learned to ask, how is it usually done in Japan? How our certificates are usually designed. So it's to me it's a lot of learning curve. Right. Oh, you're doing things this way while I'm doing things this way. Okay, let's see how we can merge together. And being in GTC, not only that we do sessions for members, we also do consultation for program design and project management. So in between doing that, you will see a lot of opportunities for you to actually help a teacher grow. For example, when doing briefing for participants, uh, maybe I am so used to presentation. I'm so used to slide design. I'm so used to what information is crucial for an information deck. But this might not be something that is familiar to the teacher involved, right? So it helped me in a way to not put any judgment first, but instead, okay, let's see which part that I can share my knowledge and my expertise with, and to share this, not looking like, hey, I'm telling you this is wrong, this is wrong, this is not wrong, but how can I best share what I can do with other teachers.
All right. Talking about challenges again. Do you face any challenges from the government or even government around the world? How do they see your movement, see this conversation, or or now is this a new starting point? Is it still new, or yeah? Can you talk more about that? Yeah, when it comes to government. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. We're not pushing our community into the mainstream system. Yeah. What we do instead is we're trying to maintain our community outside, but involving people from the system. So the members are actually the one who also share with other educators, and that's how other educators also join. Sometimes they join after joining an event or a program. Like some new members come after they became panel interviewers for Aisha's online mock interview. Yeah. So uh, in terms of challenges with the government institution, we have yet to encounter any, and instead we actually have worked together with Kulim District Education Office to deliver a workshop for their teachers in June this year. So we're looking into, okay, if this fits into what you guys want to do, then maybe we can work together.
So are you welcome to more education district officer coming to
Of
find you guys?
course, of course. We'd love to share what we've been doing, or we'd love to share the skills incorporated with conversation or just experiential workshop. Yeah, these things are open for discussion, and I believe that it is very important that we personalize the items. Like for example, if people in district office in Syrian, let's say, they might want a different thing than district office in Kulim, right? So yeah, we work on program design by personalizing.
All right. Now, from origin to challenges, now the most important, I think, is much interesting now, and even for our teachers now, is innovation. So,
Right.
how has the global teacher conversation movement contributed to innovation in teaching and learning methods? Since there are conversations around the teachers, and what have you seen through your community on this?
I would, yeah, I would say the innovation relies heavily on collaboration and the networking, because when they network together and they, oh hey, let's get together and do programs together, right?
Mhm.
So they come up with ideas on what sort of programs, what sort of exchange they want to do, or do they want to share classrooms together, right? The innovation also tied, sometimes tied very closely to SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. Yeah, things like this that you can easily tie it on, because you're talking about global citizenship, right?
Correct.
So by collaborating, you have your students also communicating and having conversation together. They increase their level of knowledge. They increase their understanding about other countries, about other communities. That's easily an SDG on global citizenship, right? So innovation in terms of programs, that is back leveraging connections. Yeah, they do a lot of this.
All right. So could you share some example of these practices besides just giving us the general one? Do you have any example, like the one that you have gave us on the
Right.
innovation?
Right. I've told you guys about Anne and her simultaneous classroom experience with Amy in Japan, and I've told you guys about Hayati and Divya from the India about Project Hub, right? And what I haven't told you guys yet is about Aisha's international online mock interview. Yeah. So um, she was handling about 160 participants from 5 different states in Malaysia, and also one school in Cambodia and another school in Mongolia. So yeah, so we have 3 countries in one online mock interview. So she reached out to us to get more people involved. So we have 20 international panel interviewers for that mock interview session from 11 different countries. Yeah. So using the contacts, the circles, and also the networks that GTC also have, she was able to turn a national level mock interview to become an international level mock interview. So yes, and mind you, the process also was not easy, but I see her like going through all the steps, going through all the corrections in the briefing, in the slides, and she's very good at taking feedback. And I believe as much as we have learned on how to coach and mentor teachers, the teachers have also grown in a way that we're so proud of Aisha today. In managing and also executing a program like that.
All right. So talking about just now talking about the innovation, right? I think that one also come in the cost of technology. Since we are talking about AI, so we are talking about AI, right? Right. So in today's digital age, right, how technology plays a role, okay, in facilitating global teacher collaboration, and what are some key tools or platforms that have been effective for your movement? Yeah,
Right.
can you talk about that? Yeah.
Sure. As the name suggests, global teacher conversation, technology plays a very major role in our sessions, even in our general sessions, right? Because we need to do it online, because you need to connect people in Malaysia, in India, in Pakistan, in Vietnam together on a call. That in itself needed technology to get everyone on the same call. That's number one. Yeah, right. And then we we used Google Workspace a lot, because Google Workspace allows you to collaborate seamlessly with other people, right? Because you can, with one click of a link, you can become a collaborator. With sharing a link, you can edit together, work at the same time. So sometimes besides sessions, besides consultation for programs, we also do check-ins for teachers. So check-ins means, let's say, Sean, if you say, "Oh, Atika, I actually have this idea," or actually, I just want to, I just want to talk with you alone, like one-on-one, right? So that's what we call check-in. So during this check-in, you might be saying, "Oh, I actually have this idea that we can do like a sub-segment in GTC session." So instead of just talking about it, we work together, use that as a work time. I mean, simply everything is on Google. Like you schedule your meeting is on Google Calendar, and then you work together using Google Slide, right? Things like this, and you put all your stuff, all your materials, all your resources on Google Drive. So you're simply utilizing all the I would say main Google Workspace products. Yeah, we actually do a lot on that, and we keep all of our resources there. And in terms of collaboration, especially when GTC is the strategic partner for certain program, this is where myself, I'm a big fan of Google Sheets for project management. Yeah, because you can utilize the tabs for a lot of things, and you put everything in one place and everyone can see them. So yeah, I do my project management on Google Sheet. Like everything is there, the overview of the program, the agenda, who's like, even to the task delegation. PIC, who's who, details, speakers, and all that. Everything is in one sheet, and to me, um, it's really convenient and easy and easy access for everybody as well.
Now, Atika, when talking about technology, there are going to be downside, right?
Yeah,
And
of course.
And we believe that there are also rural communities, not only in Malaysia alone, but all around the world. How do these teachers find you, and how do GCT work in this kind of teachers community where they work in rural area where the lines are terrible and
Right.
what you say, Atika?
We understand this kind of limitations, right? We have members in Vietnam who is serving in I think quite remote area as well. And sometimes they will inform us that, hey, the line is not so good today or anything. So usually what we ask of members during general session is that, oh, you make sure you turn on your video, turn on your audio, because what we want is as genuine as conversation as we can, like you and I right now, because I can see you, Sean, right? I feel like, oh, I'm talking in front of you, I'm talking to you, right? So that's what we ask from our members. But there are times when this sort of requirements, we a bit lenient on that when they told us, hey, my internet is not good right now. So they can turn off their video and carry on with conversation. I just using audio, and sometimes they also participate with chat. So we allow that. Yeah. But as much as we can, as much as they can, they will try. They will try to be as participative as they can.
Do any offline community exist? I mean, aside from just going online, do any kind of, offline community where they themselves in the community hold on this GCT? Does that also happen? Besides from
Right. So besides from the teacher workshop that we did, right? Sometimes members catch up with each other in person. So these teachers sometimes they meet up. Oh, you're in the same conference. Oh, you're in the same ladap. You're in the same training. So they meet up. So this is the time where they have their in-person meeting, but not GTC session in person. Yeah, just meet up, because we also encourage our members to, hey, if you're anywhere, maybe you can share in Telegram group, because there's a high chance that there's another member from GTC is also attending the same program, right? So we did what we did was we encourage in-person meetup, and then because after the pandemic, it was still not very easy for us to meet up, right? Because some members will be in Sabah, some members will be in Penang. It's not easy to coordinate, right? So for those who can, we also did school visit. So some members from Japan, when they were in Malaysia, so they will say, oh, we wanted to see like different kind of schools here in Malaysia. So we organized like, okay, let's go visit this school and that school together. So that kind of activity. But we're also planning this December to do a learning retreat. So this December, we're going on a 1 week long learning retreat in Sabah. Yeah. So we're going to cover 3 different districts. We're going to Tawau, Semporna, and then we're going to Kudat, to an island school, and then end in Kota Kinabalu. So there will be like activities together with members. Activities like visiting schools, experiencing, becoming teacher assistant, doing classroom takeover, and talking with parents and students at an island school, things like this. Yeah.
So just now, I believe that is one of the benefit of joining global teacher conversation, which is going abroad and everything. Things like that. Which I will be joining after this. Yeah, because that is thing. Yeah. So what
Right.
what other tips that GCT offer to teachers not only in private or public or yeah. What are the other benefits? Yeah. Besides
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I must make it I must make this main info first, yeah. Main
Right.
info is GTC is totally free. You
Okay.
don't have to pay a single cent to join GTC session. It's absolutely free for you to join, and we craft sessions. We craft content for you, suitable for you as a professional, suitable for you as an adult, suitable for you as an educator. And we don't charge anything for this, and you can just come and follow the session and have conversation with each other. Like I mentioned, um, it's upon you to shape your own experience. If you want to come there and have conversation, just have some me time, up to you. There are members who come there and like, okay, who can collaborate with me because I have this idea, or do you have an idea that I can jump on and join you with? So you can actually utilize this network and connection together uh, for your school, for your own project, for example. And you can make use of our connection. Like when Aisha mentioned, oh, we need panels. Like GTC will reach out to other circles outside GTC as well. Yeah, so that's how Aisha could secure those 20 panels from 11 different countries. Yeah, so because we have other networks outside of GTC, you can take advantage of that. Other than that, mm, yeah, so in a session, usually how a session goes, we will have like an intro to the topic of the day. Let's say the topic of the day is about climate education, right? So we have this, and then we will discuss, and we also have this section called sharing space. So sharing space is open for anyone, basically any member. Let's say if you, Sean, like, oh, I'm actually very passionate about AI. I'm very passionate about coding. I just want to share how my day has been. We give you 10 minutes slot to actually share with everyone. Yeah. So you have this like stage for yourself for 10 minutes during the session. Another exciting opportunities also is member takeover. So you can let me know. Hi, I think I want to take over one session. I have this topic that I want to bring to everyone. Yeah, sure, we can do that. I will like go with you step by step on how our framework is to fit your agenda. So we can do that as well. Yeah. So like I said, think about the think far and think wide of how you want your experience to be. We are here to support you in achieving that dream.
All right. So now talking about all of these, and towards the end of our podcast, I also want to know what do you envision, Atika, what do you envision for the future of our education, and how can movement like global teacher conversation shape it? I repeat again, how do you envision the future of education, and how movement like global teacher conversation shape it? Yeah. So
Sure.
yeah, all right.
I've shared I've shared my thoughts with a few of my friends because I've done a program for students and I've done program for teachers previously and also now. So maybe we can also relate as an adult ourselves, maybe relate to our experiences. So when we tell other people, oh, we're doing this student program, nobody will get shocked. Or even better, oh, we're doing this student program, we need funding, we need money. Oh yeah, take my money, go. Take my money. Right. Good, good, good. Anything for the future generation, we support you. See how many student programs there are in Malaysia. There's a lot, right? Yeah. When we talk about teacher or educator development, a lot of these programs are skewed towards classroom or pedagogical skills, right? Like during the pandemic, a lot of the support, yes, teachers are supported, but a lot of the support are actually to deliver a classroom. How to use Google Meet, how to use Telegram, how to use this and that and that and that. I think the gap that we can think about, this is definitely not, I would not say this as a disadvantage or what we're lacking. I want to see this as an opportunity gap which we can fill, right? So this opportunity gap comes in the personal growth and professional development of teachers in terms of quality as a person. Because we in Malaysia we aim to create a student that is complete with qualities of an insan. We call it memanusiakan pelajar atau memanusiakan murid, right? So making a human out of our students. However, we don't really give the time, we don't really provide the training or the kind of support that the adults or the teachers need to become that wholesome person first. Because what we believe at GTC is we need to be that wholesome person first, then you don't feel, this is too difficult for me to do. Why should I tell my kids to be a person of integrity? Instead of thinking, how do I teach my student to become honest? I can become honest first. And because I'm honest, then I can just mirror what I do and role model, sort of modeling how am I as a human, how am I as a person to my students, right? Yeah. So there are a lot of opportunity gap that we see in terms of teacher development. You open SPL KTM, you open webinars, you open like courses on Intan and like that. There will be a lot say, oh, how to teach financial literacy in according to your syllabus, how to teach. Yes, of course, how to teach is very important because you need to deliver in the classroom. But how to bring the best qualities of ourselves as a person, I think is equally as important. And these are the opportunity gap that we can, make an effort together as a community. And this is what GTC is aiming, to do for educators. What we envision is that we create an ecosystem where our trainings, where our support for teachers is not as imbalanced as is now. So there will be people who create trainings, for example, or in technology, in Google Workspace, for example. But there will be also people who teach you how to give feedback, how to communicate better with your peers at school, right? So GTC is that group. We're aiming for that.
So I believe that we become teachers because of our students, right, Atika? So do you believe in ethical access to education? Access for education for all the kids around Malaysia and around the world. Yes. So if so, yeah, what are the steps that you believe that GCT can bring in to ensure that this will come true? Yeah, because I know GCT is more focused on teacher, but I believe that all of this will go down to our main client, which is
Right.
yeah. So yeah, can you tell us the necessaries that you believe that will come true? Yeah.
Right. When we talk about first of all, we're of the opinion that education is a right it's actually a human right for everyone. So when we talk about education and we talk about access to education, there must be access to everybody. Like every kid, every children must have access to education, because the one primary thing that will shape them into the future is knowledge. Yeah. So we need to, on the systemic level, we need to think of what are the barriers to entry to schools, what are the challenges and barriers to access to education. This will invite a whole lot of different conversation, because we in Malaysia we have a lot of different issues when it comes to education and access to education. I'd love to talk more about it, but this is a lot longer conversation. Um, but I'd love to see that this kind of barriers. Firstly, we talk about it. We talk about it without hiding anything, without trying to, hey, this is sensitive, that is sensitive. If you think about it, then everything is sensitive, right? So first we need to be able to talk about it, and then everyone. Education is not just the work of teachers or educators or school administrators. We've heard of the proverb, it takes a village to raise a child, right? So that village is actually the whole community of the society. So you talk about parents, you're talking about district education officers, you talk about the state education officers, you talk about ministers, you talk about the uncle across the street selling pisang goreng, right? Everyone. So you need to have honest conversation first. Talk about all these barriers. Talk about what we have, our strength and all that. And all parties and all members of community, all members of society must play their role in, pay attention to what's happening in education. And also making sure that everyone's also aware of what's happening, and then in their own power, voice out on how we can make access to education more feasible, right? So, yeah, on a systemic level, that's what we can do together. GTC, what we're doing currently is to create and provide contents that make teachers and educators think twice about their daily practices. Questions, because we have prompt questions before breakout room. So they don't just go to breakout room and just chit chat. So they go to breakout rooms with prompt questions. So these prompt questions make them think, like, how can we do education differently, right? How can we make sure that nobody is left behind? How can we create a new experience in learning? Things like this. So even at one point, we were talking about, how there's a workplace culture where we gossip about people. Yeah, right. That happens too at school, right? We gossip about people. So we talk about how to make gossip session productive. Yeah, things like this. So it's a change of mindset, so that the teachers and educators who join the teacher session could have perhaps a different point of view, a different perspective that they can think and bring back to their school, to their friends, to their family, to their children, the students after the session.
Now, talking about that, so how do you, as a co-founder, measure the impact of global teacher conversation movement, and what are your long-term sustainability plans for your
Wow.
critical and critical? Right.
Well, high level questions. Okay.
Yes.
Hmm. Right. So we believe that everything that we do is a shared resources. That's what we believe in DTC. So every time we do session, like after the after the pandemic restriction is over, so all the dinners, all the weddings, all restart again, right? So some of our members couldn't make it to session, but we have made it a practice to record every session so that those members who cannot attend this session can, catch up on the recording on their own, so that they are not left behind on what we discuss in the session that they missed. That's number one. We make sure that everything we do is recorded, everything we do is backed up to the cloud, everything we do is recorded, so that we have references for whatever that we did. That's number one. So that no one is left behind, right? Number two, in terms of long term plan, right? We never have thought, it never crosses our mind that we come to this year, our third year running GTC. When we first started, we only thought like this is maybe a one-time thing in 2021. But it continues on to 2022, and then now we're in the midst of 2023 chapter, and we're already in the pipeline to think about what we will do for 2024 chapter for next year. And also talking about sustainability. Right now, what I do as a co-founder is to look into more collaboration opportunities, look into more strategic partner that we can, leverage knowledge together or leverage members together, talking to other co-founders or talking to other people. For example, those GEG groups leaders. So we are in talks to see how can we share our knowledge and expertise, or how can we share our communities together. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing.
All right. That's good. That's good. So now, looking back on your journey, right, as a co-founder, right, with Global Teacher Conversation, what are the valuable lessons you learned, and both personally and professionally, that you don't mind sharing to us as the listener and all that?
Right. Personally, I guess throughout the 3 year journey so far, what I learned the most is gratitude. Because GTC is not the sole work of me or the other co-founders alone. I mean, we started it, but the bulk of the experience is actually the bulk of memories made by other members. So they are the one in conversation. They are the one who speak to one another. They are the one who join hands and do programs together. So as the co-founder, really, this is I would say an album of memories. This is an album of memories, or I would say this is all the hard work and the effort done by the members themselves. To see them grow, because we have original members from 2021 until now. They're still attending every single session. So we managed to see how different this person is, how inspired this person has become, and how inspirational this person became to the other members as well. So as I witnessed this, I truly feel grateful. I learned to be more and more grateful, because I don't think like, who are you people? Where do you come from? How did you become GTC members, right? Yeah. So these are teachers that I don't know before. They are not from my circles or my friend circle. So yeah, I learned to be like very grateful and keeping being grateful and professional wise, like I mentioned just now, working as a strategic partner or program partner for other schools like in Japan or Nepal, where you have to manage yourself working with different set of different working style, a different working experience, right? So it's a matter of balancing how much you want to get involved and how much you wanna put your own idea and question yourself, is this your program or our program? How could we communicate better? How can we, work better together? And also I learn a lot in terms of because we need to see sustainability for the next chapters as well for the upcoming years. I learned a lot in terms of sourcing potential partners. Going out there and just going out there and just, hey, what are you doing like now? Is there any possibility or just us working together, collaborate on what kind of program that we could possibly collaborate on. And Alhamdulillah, through that small talk, through that catch up talk with other people, um, we're actually slowly seeing a lot more progress in terms of partner acquisition. We're looking into we look at positive outlets where we can share to a lot more countries, to a lot more people. GTC is very small compared to other to other community. It's actually very very small, but we don't mind, crossing the boundaries. Just because we're small doesn't mean that we're nothing, right? So yeah, so it's better to start small anyway. This is what we believe in. It's better to start small, and just because you're small doesn't mean that you're not worth it. So we have what we believe in, what our visions are, how we want to support our teachers. We know where and who the people that we can reach out to. So we're going to keep working towards that.
All right. So, what advice now we talk to the new teachers? Try to
Right.
new teachers now. Yeah, thank you for all of that. I believe our listener will have some mission or thoughts after listening to that. So now, what advice would you give to aspiring educators? We know they are listening to this podcast on YouTube and advocate who wants to make a positive impact in the field of education. Yeah, what would you give your advice? Yeah.
I'm no one to give advice. I'm really no one to give advice. What I would like to invite, not just everyone else, not just aspiring teachers, not just community members. I think I would also like to re-invite myself. So I always remember I have to do this, right? Not just telling other people, hey, you do this, you do that, when I'm not doing anything. I also want to invite myself to do this. So if you're thinking of a profession, right? Regardless whether you want to be a teacher, regardless whether you want to be a lecturer or an educator, right? There will always be a point in life where you need to teach other people something. Always. So if you think, oh, if I need to teach, then I need to be a teacher, no, you're wrong. Think of this. Every single one of us is actually already is a teacher. You show this small kid how to go to the convenience store. That way, this way, turn left, turn right. You're already teaching. You tell a person how to get on the bus, pay with card or pay with cash. You're already teaching someone. So what I want to say is everybody should play a part in supporting and creating a better education for all of us, not just in the future, but also the education today. Because if there's no education today, there will be no education in the future, right? Yeah. So don't just think too far. We can think far ahead in the future, but think of the people who are in the present now. So try have as much conversation as you can. Let's say if your friend is an educator, like ask them how their day is, ask them what their projects they're on, like Shine, what you're working on now, is there anything that I can do to support you with, right? So that everybody can get together, because I believe education is not supposed to be in a silo. Education is not just the work of educator. Education is not the sole responsibility of people who we call teacher, tutor, lecturer. It's the responsibility, it's the work and the effort of everybody in the society. Everybody. So everybody needs to play an active role, because our generation, um, our generation in the future will reflect on how we do today as a generation today.
All right. So thank you, Atika. So as we wrap up our podcast today, so what are your future plans and aspirations for the global teacher conversation movement? Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I can do a little bit of advertisement here.
Sure, sure.
Right. I want to invite everyone in the education ecosystem. If you're a teacher at any kind of school, private, public, if you're an administrator, if you're an educator, or if you're someone actually working to support educators, those people who are not so-called teachers, but they create program for teachers. So you are also educators in a way. Um, you can join us at Google Teacher Conversation. We're on Facebook, and you can also join us in session for 2023. We're still holding sessions up until December. If you would like, if you're a non-educated person and you would like to be on GTC, yeah, you can reach out to me as well, and GTC. Let me share. Let me share GTC email here, so that you can reach out to us. We are also on Facebook, and you can look into our recorded session on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, there's a global teacher. Just type global teacher conversation. On Facebook, you can also type global teacher conversation. And yeah, we'll be more happy to have you guys. I guess the members will also appreciate more people, more perspective, right? More point of views from different countries, regardless of where your country is from. As long as English is not your first language, you can come and join us at GTC session. I sent you an email, Sean, if you can just
All right. So,
show to everyone.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I will put the email at the description box. So those who are interested, you need to put the description box for the email, right? To
Yeah.
touch with Atika.
So if you want to join, then there's this link as well. Right. Let me show a QR code. Let me show a QR code so that it's easier for those who wanna. apply to become a member. Like I said, it's free. You don't have to. You don't need to pay anything, right?
Alright.
All right. So let's maybe show that for a few seconds.
Yeah. So to those viewer or listener that want to join, right? This call to join the global teacher conversation. So uh, before we end our podcast today, uh, thank you, Atika, for coming to the second episode of our podcast. Yeah, I don't know when this will release. Yeah, we see. Yeah, right. So thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for having UTC also.
Yeah. So who knows, in the future we might invite you back again. Yeah,
Sure,
maybe
sure.
we have a host. Yeah. So thank you
Yes.
all from us. That's all from Champion.
Champions podcast will to take you on a journey through the inspiring stories of educators who teach with a mission, leaving an indelible mark on their schools and the lives of their students. Subscribe now, and together, let's celebrate the educators who are shaping the future, one classroom at a time. This is the
Okay, so good morning, good evening, wherever you are watching this podcast. I'm your host, Sean. All right. So today we are very lucky because in this podcast, in this third episode of this champion podcast, I'm very grateful that we can invite someone who is quite active as a parent, that willing to do more for his school and change the community as a whole. So yeah, I would like to welcome Dr. Basha, Dr. Basha Muhammad Sharif, right? So he is a leader for GG Paya Rumput, and he's quite active in bringing in all the technology to schools, to the teachers, to the parents, right? So in this podcast, we are going to dive deep. But before that, to kickstart off things, right, Dr. Basha, could you please provide our listener with a brief overview of your background and your role as a president of the Parents Teacher Association at your
Thank you, J.K. Sean. It's really quite uh, honorable too for me for me to be here together with all of you. And okay, for my background, actually, I'm the former chairman of the Parents and Teacher Association for SMK Perumput Melaka in 2017 until 2021. And in addition to that, also the vice president or vice chairman of the Parents Teacher Association for Sekolah Kebangsaan Paya Rumput Melaka in 2019, 2020. Okay, based on my experience in Parents Teacher Association as well, he helped me to work together with school administrators, mainly the headmistress and for the primary and secondary school. And beside that, also he helped me also to establish the good relationships with schools administrator. And for my background, I'm also a consultant veterinarian for my expertise in avian medicines. And in my journey in Parents Day Associations comes through an incidental uh, joining in, because I never expect that I'm gonna get involved with these educations. And I really appreciate the moments together with JP Sean's today that I can share together with my experience. And I'm waiting more questions that will be asked by JP Sean's. Back to you, JP Sean's.
All right, very good. Thank you, Dr. Basha. So now, our listener might be curious, if you are an animal doctor, why you are slowly taking over the rights board of teachers? What's your, I, even me as an host, right, I'm very curious about your motivation of doing that. As a busy doctor, what inspired you to become so deeply involved in introducing technology to your community and schools? Could you share your personal journey that led you to where you are here? Yeah, Doctor.
Yeah, even though my profession is as consultant veterinarians, I also have a deep passions and interest in education as well, especially when we have children that went to the school, right? I think everyone also, as a parent, we want our children to be successful in their studies as well also in the near future. We as a parent want and promote our kids accordingly. So we just like a mole, they are the future leaders. They are the future champions. They are the future trainees. So we are the parents are really very important in much way to ensure that our kids have a very good deeds, has a very good knowledge, and have very good in their studies. Back to your question just now, what inspired me more? Can when I see that the education landscapes change almost 180% during the COVID-19. But I joined it earlier, and in addition to that also, I have actually deep passions towards ICT. During my studies, 30 years ago, in my primary school and then went to secondary schools, I believe that we never undergo this kind of psychometrics assessment, whereby today we have that psychometric assessment. Today, when my children ask me, Abba, Dad, what do you want me to do after I finish my school? I say it's up to you, not it's up to me. It not necessarily means if I'm the veterinarian, your mother also as a veterinarian, you must become a veterinarian. So all depends on your interests and which areas that you like the most. But talking about just now regarding that, my involvement in education, because I also involved with a student from veterinary medicines. Okay, in medical schools, like human medicines are different than animal medicines. In animal medicine, you got so many species you're going to remember, right? You got the studies. It's difference in anatomical structure, difference in embryological structure, and there got so many different like species also in their physiology and also anatomical structure as well. And these give a lot of challenge to the student as well of the lecturer by itself. Sean, as a teacher, we as an educator. So both of us are educators, except we are in different areas, different kinds of groups of students that are going to be taught to. Okay? The challenges of us right now. So if we don't participate, we don't understand their problem, it's very difficult for us to make them excel in their studies. Then, back to the question, what inspired me?
Yeah,
The thing that inspired me the most, when I've been invited back to university, to help the university to improve their numbers of failure students to become successful students. That time, I think around 10% of the student fails their final exam. So when the teacher asked me, then how can I help? How can you help? I said, probably the methods that are being used in the class need to be changed. Right? It's very much different that we don't want to produce students today or in the future, whereby when they see the books, they just memorize it just like a photostat machine. We're not producing a photostat machine generations, We're going to produce somebody in the near future, a good medical doctor, a good veterinarian. We have a very knowledgeable, skillful, and experienced. Of course, they won't have experience in the first day when they start working, but during the internships, during the exposure in their studies, will help them to become a very good doctor. You see, the three important things about excellent student: environment, exposure, experience. They call 3 E's. The 3 E's is very much important to be understood better because the environment of the students is very, very much important. During my time, when my lecturers talk in France, and we are here jotting down all the notes, he just talked by himself. There was no two-way communications. In my class, I don't want students to just sit and listen, but you should start to ask me. Today, Sean, you must understand better. I think you'll be realizing that student university now with their iPad, with their handphone. Of course, everyone got handphones, and with their laptops. Okay,
Mhm.
all the access to internet is accessible all the time, 24 hours. So they can ask anything just to test your lecturer. But the things that differentiate it, the things that differentiate us the most is experience, knowledge, the skill that we have that is not written in the internet by itself. So this thing, when I saw the student getting improved in their studies and they become excellent, and we have good compliment from the administrators, that give me a lot of boost, a lot of motivation, that inspire me to do more and more and more. So when I joined Parents and Teacher Associations, my principal, Puan Hajar Rubaya, former principal, she asked me, Dr. Basha, why don't you go and take Google Certificate Level 1, Level 2, Trainer, as well as Innovator? I said, oh, I don't think I have time to do that. But she said, you should try. If you have deep passions to it, because the 4 important criteria here is time, discipline, passion, and patience. You see, if you have these 4 important criteria in your life, in yourself, definitely you can do it. Nothing is impossible. The word impossible, if you separate it, become I'm possible. See you, Chikisha?
Yeah, all right. So now, since you are quite actively involved in improving your community of parents in their children technology skill, right? Can you tell us some of your initiative or program that you have spearheaded in achieving this goal in your own community of Paya Lumpur that you
Oh,
can
there's
you
a
don't
lot of
mind?
things I've done.
Uh,
In my early journey, what I have done is, firstly, I transform the Parents and Teacher Association by itself from documentation that on paper to become paperless. Really, 99% paperless. 1% only the check only design, or just a small form only design. Others of it is paperless. So how do you make it become a reality? I change it to when we start to use Microsoft OneNote. We start to use a lot where we integrate Microsoft application and Google application, integrate it all together. Okay, the core business here is Microsoft OneNote. Everything become digitalized. So let's say, for example, that I want to present some things. So not necessarily I'm going to use PowerPoint, not necessarily I'm going to Google Slides. I put everything in the OneNote. So that things that the I can see the beauty in this office is when we want to put a notes inside there, we want to keep all the history, we want to put all the videos, documentation, everything in one single application they call Microsoft OneNote. And the success is when I saw it, that when the auditors from from the district education department came to our school, and then they asked me, where's the file? I said, we don't use any physical file. We use Microsoft OneNote, all digital. We just give a link to them. At the same time, when we present it on the screen, on TV, very big TV, and they're really impressed. How do you manage to do that? I said, yeah, you do a lot of cooperation, a lot of deep inspirations and interest of the teachers to learn it, and make our job very much easier. That's number 1. Number 2, we have also students that we set up division called the brigade, digital brigade. I'm not sure whether this thing you have it in your school. This is the brigade where all these students be exposed to the usage of laptops and Chromebook. Yeah. So whenever we have an event, let's say for example that the parents come to the school, or where we have workshops, digital workshop or whatever. So we ask the student to sit in front with a few laptops over there, a few students, and take the attendance, handling all this registration process. These give a good experience to them. Okay? From that experience, they improve their skill, improve their knowledge. Because without this kind of experience, we expect them to be good in literacy in digital is going to be very much difficult or impossible. That's one thing. Number 3 is I can see the success whenever that sometimes not all teachers is quite deep understanding and interest in using computers, using Google application and Microsoft. Due to my interest, I have some kind of knowledge also. I make short presentations to them. I give them a lot of motivations to them. I teach them how to know how to do all this Google application, also and Microsoft applications to them. So the success from there, I see that they started the school from nowhere, from nobody knows about this school, become very, very well known during the period and become the chairman.
Oh, all right. So, Dr. Basha, from that point onwards, I'm quite curious. At the beginning of everything that you have done, that involve parents, everything, right? Do any step back, or do you have any challenges from both teachers and parents that go against you, and how you are able to manage this kind of sounds or noises that sort of try to pull you down, pull the whole school down towards this direction? How you because you are quite active, right? You are quite active in involving all the parents, I believe. So how do you deal with that, and how would you like to encourage those listeners who are parents that also facing this kind of problem, but they are having the heart to help their own children's school to move forward to the direction that you are for your school, for your child? Yeah. So, Doctor.
Yeah, it's very common. No matter wherever you are, in whatever organization you are, whatever you do, you can't make everyone happy. Not 100% will be agree for what you're doing right now. Of course, there were a lot of some kind of resistance that you're going to face. Let's say, for example, in 2018, December of 2018, when we start, and I talked to the school principal, Puan Hadia Rubaya, I think for next year intake, Form 1, whereby all the parents who want to register their children do not use any pen or papers at all. We're going to use QR code. We're going to use handphones. We're going to use laptop. At the first time when we start this thing, of course, we have a manual to give to them. And also we have the IT brigade that our beloved children's, together with the laptops that help them in the registration process. Of course, in the beginning, that some of them might be saying that I don't have any knowledge in using computer. They are computer illiteracy, we call. They don't know how to use it all. I said, never mind, no problems. We have student here, we have teacher on the other side, they can help you in the registration process. And gradually, at first when they have some kind of resistance, then they have to follow with the flow. You see now, of course, like what I said just now, let's say if they try to be resistant, I've told them, if you do not start it, you will stay there forever. If you don't ask, the answer will always be no. If you don't step forward, you always be at the same place. So that's from there on. So it's kind of like sometimes you have to use a little bit of inverted forcing to them also. That's one thing. As long they don't raise up the issue, as long they don't voice up all the dissatisfaction whatsoever, so you can continue with a job. I told them, and I explained to these parents, not all, most of them are supporting my work in digital to make the IT literacy among parents and teachers to be successful, improve. I told them that I've done nothing wrong. I tried to bring up this school to another level. Why you should stay like 10, 20 years behind? So we must have a positive thinking. So another thing, Cikgu Sean, I just like a politician already. So I call all the parents. I give a talk to them. I told them, if you don't like me, you can bring me down and you can take my place. If you think that you cannot take my place, okay, please don't disturb me and please follow with me. So can I have a full support? And I have 100% support in Pairumpu. I think already asked them, you are the people who invited me You are the people who appointed me as a
True.
chairman.
True.
I never ever fill up any application form.
True.
It's okay, you know the kind of job. I'm not the assemblyman, I'm not the politician. I'm just a parent. When you join Parents and Teacher Association as a chairman, you don't get any salary. Instead of getting a money, you take up your own pocket money, your hard-earned money for Parents and Teacher Association. You just take up my time, you take up my money, you take up my annual leave, okay, you take up all my free time. Of course, my annual leave have to give it to them because
True.
sometimes you see if any occasions, any workshops, I have to take leave. Right. And you know that I'm a very busy person.
True.
What do I get in return? What do you get in return, Cikgu Sean, if you are the chairman of the Parent Teacher Association? You don't get anything. Tired. And then if you guys try to make my life miserable, hectic, and give me a lot of headache, might as well I step down and you please take over my position as a chairman.
True.
But isn't that from there on, all the people who before this give a lot of resistance change. They change, They change, they support 100%. Okay, tell me here, I ask them, can I have 100 support? Everybody raise their hands. Yes, Dr. Basha, we support you 100%. You see? This is very simple to that. If you think that you are better than me, please take over. I can do a lot of things outside there with other organizations. And it didn't stop there, Cikgu Sean. From that school, from Pairumput, I also went to another school, another state of school also. I went to Sarawak, I went to Selangor, I went to Perak. I mean, all the teachers. Due to the beauty of these internet services, I knew most of the teachers, almost all parts of Malaysia. They knew me, I knew them, but maybe we don't meet physically like what we experienced during the symposium in Singapore. Back to you.
All right. So I would like to give you a round of applause because not many parents willing to go as you, doctor. So yeah, since you have going so far, parents have changes, right? So what impact have you seen on students when their parents are actively engaged in improving their technology skill in your school? Yeah, if you don't mind sharing that success story, if you have a few friends that you don't mind giving out their names, that you see success there. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Right.
I have a few of success story, but I cannot remember their name because there's so many of them. You see, the thing is that I change. How did I manage to change? You see, let's say for example that for Form 5 students, we divided into 3 categories. Okay, one is the excellent student, one is the medium one is the low one. So the mission of the school now to produce more straight A's that time. We want more people to get A's. Okay, and we managed to do that. See, we managed to do that. How do you do it? The motivation course, instead of getting the outsider as a motivator, I do it myself. Bring the teachers, bring the parent, bring the children, divide it into 3 different categories. I give a talk to them, especially for the student who always absent from school, especially for the parents who always say no time for their children. I told them it's very simple. I give them myself an example. Cikgu Sean, I myself also studied almost 18 years. 6, is it 18 years? 6, then I got another 6, 7 plus 6, 13 years. Okay, 13 years. Okay, 13 years in school, another 5 years in university when doing my veterinary medicines. Okay, so during this time, if I didn't work hard today, most probably I won't be sitting down in my chair here online, go and talk together with you.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a time when I have up and down during my studies. My mom is a good motivator. My dad really support me so much. We are not from the wealthy family, right? But the only thing I talk to them is, if you work hard today, you'll be successful in the near future. You don't have to work so hard have a very hard life in the near future. I think you believe me on that, Victor. Let's say, for example, you don't want to study. Okay, you don't want to study, you don't have any qualification. You don't have any certification. So your job scope would be very narrow. Firstly, you don't have education. Secondly, you don't have certification. When you want to find a job, what kind of job is suitable for you if you don't have anything at all? If you're an employee, you come for interview with me, Cikgu Sean, and you don't have any certifications, how am I supposed to take you? You don't come here with a degree of engineering. You don't come with degree of medical officer. Okay? Then how am I supposed to employ you?
True.
So I told the student right now, if you fail today, because fail means the first attempt in learning. FAIL. First attempt in learning. Nobody start from the top. Everyone start from zero. Zero to hero. Okay? And if, for example, they like this, and then from there on, when I do a lot of motivation course, that not from SMK Pairuput only, no. I went to few school as well. And their result is extremely good when they listen to my talk. I'm not talk to bring myself up or boasting about it, but I'm not. But I really works very hard. And this is all the volunteer work that been done because I trust in God. I say, God, last time during my studies, I'm not performing well, but during the real exam, I perform well. This is really a miracle. Really, really miracle. There's one time that I fail all my subject. Then my mom said, no, this is not the real exam, it's just a mock exam. You work hard, I pray for you, and God will make sure that you'll be a success in the future. You know what happened during the exam? Everything will be so easy. So easy. The thing, I don't know, from nowhere. And at the time when I received my result, I got in flying colors. That's why today I managed to get my degree in Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. I managed to get my master's. I managed to pass my certified trainer. I managed to get my certified innovator. This is all the evidence. Okay? So I told the students, I told the parents, I told the teachers, the things that I've done today will give you a good example. If I can do what you all cannot do, the only thing you need some kind of time, you need a kind of patience, you need a kind of passion, and you need discipline. Thank you, Sean.
All right, thank you. So just now you say qualification is important, right? So now, as a president for PTA, right, could you discuss the importance of bridging the digital divide among parents? Because we know that in our society, not everyone are living in a bed of roses, which is very wealthy family, right? Most of them are coming from the average or even from the 40 line B40 status, right? So how you plan to divide these parents with you, and how does this benefit both student and the community as a whole?
Yes, it's a very good question. Okay, sometimes we are in the environment whereby maybe 60% or 70% from the lower income group, lower income bracket. They can't afford to put food on the table. How you expect for them to buy all these kind of sophisticated gadgets, right? Okay, so I told them the thing is like this. Do you remember about the time when the failure of Nokia phones, right? Do you remember that last time when we went to take photo, we used Kodak, 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 and all these things seems to be disappear, right? So what's happening actually? Why these things happen? So we learn from the fall of Nokia. Let's say, for example, that before I answer your question, I want to bring you all to bring back the time that we start to use our first handphone, right? The Nokia phone. Now we have a very sophisticated phone, iPhone. We use Samsung, whatever. But at the time, we see that people don't want to use Nokia anymore. They want to use Samsung. They want to use iPhone. Why this kind of thing? Okay, the conclusion that what we can learn from this is the advantage you have yesterday will be replaced by the trends of tomorrow. You don't have to do anything wrong. As long as your competitors catch the wave and do it right, you can lose out and fail. That's number one. Number two, to change and improve yourself is giving yourself a second chance. To be forced by others to change is like being discarded. Those who refuse to learn and improve will definitely one day become redundant and not relevant to the industry. It's a fact. Okay, back to the parents. Let's say, for example, that they don't have they have a financial constraint, for example, to get all these. There shouldn't be any problem because in school we got everything for this particular group. Yes, we bought for them access to the computer labs. We got access for them to the computer laptop. We got the cheap. Now everything is very cheap. Now you can buy Chromebook for them. Chromebook is about 200 ringgit, 100 plus also can get Chromebook already, just to get access to their children, the student of the school. Back to the parents just now. I said the parents, dear sir, dear mothers, dear fathers, you don't have to worry. Just ask your children to come to the school. We help them to have access because we want them to be someone better in the near future, better than us, better than both of you as a parent. You see, don't let whatever that deficiency that you have right now to become obstacle or restrict them to move further. You don't have the gadget, we provide them. You the internet, you come to the school, we provide them because we can't provide everybody in their house, but they can do it in the school, right? So let's just remember last time when I talk about the experience, exposure, environment, all these things you have in our school. Okay, maybe you don't have it at home, but as long as you give us support, send your kids to school, we can help your children to be access to it. In the near future, when their financial getting better, or maybe they get scholarship whatsoever, they can change their life by what they're doing today. So we must follow the trends, The trends in the near future, now we have AI, artificial intelligence. We have a lot of sophisticated devices. We have video conferencing, whereby all these things will never exist 10, 20 years ago. True or not, Cikgu Sean? Right? So I told the parents, you cannot hinder the development of the ICT. Give them exposure, give them chance, space and chance to your children for the better. Back to you.
All right, very good. So now, since we already discussed how they should go going forward, right? So I also believe that there are also PTS out there that they don't know what they should do. The role, I think, most of them only sit on the chair and then just listen to whatever the school throw to them. But I think this is not what you are advocating for. So in your experience, what role should PTS play in advocating for technology integration in school, and how they can effectively collaborate with educators and administrators? Right. I believe we should also ask this kind of question because I believe out of all many schools, we don't heard many PTS that really do their work. So what do you say, Doctor?
Yeah, because normally when a certain person been appointed as a chairman or president of the parent and teacher association, they don't undergo any kind of training. There was no induction training, Tell them what they're supposed to do, what they're not supposed to do. And they don't have the kind of line over there. They must have a diversions there, because your line until there. So you are not administrator. The chairman is not administrator, You're helping the teachers. You are the supporting group, actually. Okay, back to achieving ambitions and dreams. And we, as a parents and teacher association, this one time the government under our former Minister of Education, Dr. Mazli, we have conventions for parents and teachers at Kuala Lumpur. That's a time where we change a lot of knowledge, ideas in our successful story, So I talked to them about my school, from no name to somebody named, okay, to be up there. After them, how the transformation of change, the wind of change happening in my school. I talked to them because in PIBG, in the PTA or Parents Teacher Association, we are here to help the school, not to take over the job of the school principal or school administrator. So you must know where is our line there. Is it not? So you must know your contingency is just stop there. When they need help, you must give them help. Okay. Let's say, for example, how to make a good PIBG or Parents Teachers Associations. How to make the school become excellent in their studies, excellent in their sports, excellent in their administrators or whatsoever. It's just like when we take the example that we bring you to restaurant and you call for curry mee. You see? So when you go when you have a curry mee, sometimes you say this restaurant A, not so nice. Maybe I could say restaurant B, not so good. Or maybe okay, but restaurant C seems to be very nice. The three one have the same menu as a curry mee, but the recipes is different. Why the restaurant number C is tastes better? Because they have some kind of secret recipe inside there. So this secret recipe must be shared together with other parent and teacher associations. So PTA cannot confine in certain areas only. They must go out, go to other school and learn. So that's how we improve. Cikgu Sean. So I bring my teachers, I bring my committee to go to other school. We learn from, let's say, for example, SMK Sains, Sekolah Menengah Sains under Cikgu Kamrul Zaman. From there, we learn a lot of things over there. You know? We learn that the school, they have a lot of TV in the school. Last time, we don't have television in class, you know. So firstly, we bring the TV to the class. Okay, then we bring TV to our PIBG room. I think we are one of the school have PIBG room, PTA rooms, you know, for us to have discussion, for us to have meetings, and we put televisions there since we have ICT already over there. So another things that we don't have in our school, we learn from other school. Then the other schools who they came also to our school. They learn something from our PIBG or from PTA. They learn something also from the school administrator. Like say, for example, that we have voucher, and then we have also a kind of reward to the student who always came to school early. So we give them badge, you know. Or this student, you know, like when you give them badge, they were so happy. Something like you, when you got the good certified trainer, you got a badge there, the T there, also the innovator, you got the bulb there, something like that. This is all badge. Make them so proud, you know, for them. That's one thing. Secondly, we give them breakfast. So all the parents support, give a lot of nasi lemak. They come early, you know, for nasi lemak, you know, because we don't want our children to become hungry in class. Of course, they cannot eat in class, lah. They read during the recess time. But before the class started, we have this kind of things. And then, beside that also, we not just talk about successful in their academic. So we talk about their religious inside things. So we recite also prayer every Friday for the Muslim. Okay, they to recite the prayers, doa. So they learn a lot of things. So goods and bads about the habits as well. Okay, back to you.
All right. So I believe all of the listeners who are parents, I think you have an idea how to go forward after this. So now, Doctor, I believe that this is also a challenge for you as a president in this school, especially those senior teachers or even those older parents, right? How do you encourage them to balance their traditional teaching method with technology as you promote, as you advocate in your school? I believe this is a challenge itself, and how you ensure, I repeat, how you ensure technology complement each other rather than replacing each other in the school that you are working on for this. Because I believe that there will be some argument where even parents or even teachers will say, oh, later on all of our thing will be full of technology. What if something bad happened? Blackout everything on that day. How do you what's your solution for this? How do they balance?
Yeah, it's very good that what you are sharing just now. Your question is very challenging question actually, but like I mentioned just now, we can't make everyone happy, right? Furthermore, when you talk about senior person or teachers or administrators, they want their job easier. So they want, it's very difficult for they accept the wind of change. So what? The most important thing is the head, the school principal. If the head can communicate with you, can collaborate with you, the thing will be much easier for you. Then what we did, what we have done, we bring all these teachers to another school.
Mm-mm.
But that's the only way you want to see, to tell them, hey, in other school, they have this, they have that, they have this, they have that, the thing that we don't have in our school. Do you realize that? So how am I supposed to have our school if I don't have full cooperation?
Mm.
You know what's happening after they came back? They change, 100% change. They support everything because I do explain to them. It's not necessarily you have to do that. Let's say, for example, that you don't know how to use computers, right? You don't know how to use the application, right? I help you. I have to do it. If you cannot do it, you ask your subordinate to do it. You got your GKMP, you got all your young teachers. Let them do. You just direct them, guide them to do that. Because not everyone have an expertise, have a passion in ICT. Sometimes they try also because they are, their hard disk is very old one, very old hard disk one. You ask them to change, or they one cannot, Dr. Basha. My brain is very small, So you ask me to absorb all this kind of thing, I say cannot also. But never mind. I tell them, as long as you're positive, you support us, you have also the young teachers to help you to do all this work in ICT. So firstly, it's like they say, it's true also. So let's say for your school, your president or your chairman must take the proactive action. You see, he must start first. Then he communicate with the school head, the head of the school, the principal. Then both of them must find how they want to improve their school. They must have also their timeline also, their points, what they're going to do now. And beside that also, we also get a help from communities like Telecom, Celcom. Okay, they came to our school, and then YES, YTL Corporation. They sponsored few things, Yes, that's a good thing. So this how the ICT things improve in my school during that time. So the most important thing, if you see what is the secret of it, firstly, the head must agree first. Okay, if the principal or the headmaster not agree, it's very difficult to do things. You will stay wherever you are. Back to you.
All right. Just now you bring out a very important point, which I think most schools not able to do it even now, right? How you guys able to? How you as a president and how you as a part of the school community able to draw in those corporate because I believe those corporate companies got corporate social responsibility CSR. How you guys able to draw this kind of fund into your school, because it's not an easy task even for schools in Sarawak. So how you guys able to convince them to help, because I think that this is also part of one of the important steps to make all of this possible. Yeah, so what's your suggestion to all the listeners which are also part of the PTA association in their own school? What should they do?
Okay, the thing like this, Sean, it's a very good question. Actually, if you remember that there was time I've been interviewed on air, with Astro Awani, and also I've been interviewed by reporters that were written in Harian Metro, if I'm not mistaken, right? And how the importance of PIBG to raise fund their account, okay? Because we need external funding. We can't be solely dependent on parents to pay for subscription, okay? PIBG subscription or PTA subscription, because they said it's not compulsory, right?
Mm-hmm.
So normally when we talk about not compulsory, most of them they say, oh, no need to pay. Okay, because everything need money nowadays.
True.
You want to buy something, you need money. You want to bring the children to go to others, to go for sport events, and then want to get the buses also have to pay, right?
True.
So where am I supposed to get this money? Back to you. So how do I manage to get these connections? Of course, there were a lot of strategies there. That's why the committee must be very strong and must have the kind of ideas. They have to meet up in ideas how to bring sponsorship to the school. What did the sponsors company get? Because if you know how to use internet, you know there's so many companies outside there, many companies, they have CSR,
True.
Yes, so find this company, get the right person, tell them who you are, but before you tell them who you are, you must impress them with your presentation. I told them, I, as a parent, I, as a chairman, I sit for the exam for Google. I managed to get this kind of Google certification, whereby make the PIBG of Pairumput very, very unique, right? So I told them, with the kind of this kind of achievement, might help also for them also for their advertisement.
Oh.
You see, for example, we have Tesco also sponsored us, right? So Tesco quite interested when seeing that I have a lot of passion towards the ICT. How did I bring up the Brigade ICT in my school? How did I bring up the teachers to the passion to the Google application? It is sponsored a lot of things during the event or any workshop in my school. That's one thing. Secondly, they donated a lot of books to our school to make our library more books for students to read and studies inside there. All right. And then another thing that is very, very important is that I told them about my inspiration. I read a lot and I write a lot also to them. So we do a lot of presentations to them. So I presented to them about the success story about the children who are with financial constraint for the lower income bracket, but they score straight A's, with all whole heart and efforts to them to help these children. So we bring up the parents, and then another things we told them earlier that we try to make the school is the environmental friendly. Then I told them about another thing is like, let's say for example that the children late for school, we don't close the gate. Why you close the gate? If they don't want to go to school, right? No, you open up the gate, let them enter. After that, you close the gate. After that, and then you know what to do with them already. So you do a lot of motivation to them, how important for them to be disciplined, why they must come with their uniform, school uniform, why they must come exactly at what time, because this is create them for a better employee, better employer, better businessman, better businesswoman, because everything must have a discipline. And one successful story is I managed to get Minister of Education to come to my school. Yes, and I managed to get also the state head to come to my school. So when they come to my school, so I got a lot of benefit from there lah, because they want to see what do we have in our school. That's all. Number 4 is because last time also I also have my expertise. My successful story in chess, a sportman. So I won a lot of tournament last time, So I organized the chess competition in my school at national level. From there, everyone know about SMK Pairumput. So when we have that event, so I went and see the assemblyman that time, YB Rosna. I went to see also a few YBs. They sponsored the event. At the time, there's so many students coming to the school, and I wrote everything a lot, very detailed about what's so important is coming to SMK Pairumput, what they can gain from this chess competition. They can get new networking, they can get new friends, they can get new knowledge, new environments over there. That's how we improve. So for your school, Cikgu Sean, when you told me before that it's quite in the urban area, compared in a very secluded area. Okay, no internet, no nothing. I mean, bring outsiders to come to your school. Bring all the Google USA teachers come to your school. Tell them how hardship you do in your school. From there on, you already advertise your school. Indirectly, you advertise your school. I believe that after that, there's so many companies like Telecom, Celcom, Digi, they will love to have some kind of advertisement in your school. They will like to sponsor a lot of things in your school. So all depends on your parent teacher association. Because your job as a teacher, so you go also got so many things to do. You
Yeah.
need parent teacher association to support you. Back to you.
Yeah, once again, I need to acknowledge your effort, right, in bringing in at CSR. So round of applause again. Doctor, okay, now go back to the more casual talk, right? Your role, right, as a doctor is undoubtedly demanding, which is, I mean, very busy. Can you share to us your secret in strategizing effective? If how do you let me put this question in a much more proper way. How can you manage your time well, where you can balance your your tugas hakiki, your main work as a doctor and a PTA? Because for me, if you don't manage well, you will burn out, doctor. So what's your secret to those PTAs out there who also have some kind of demanding work just like yours, right? How do you balance this both of your career and your career as a PTA president? Yeah, and yeah, your commitment to this. Yeah, doctor.
Take a Sean. So in one word, it's very simple. Passion. Passion. I have very deep passions. If you have passions, nothing can stop you. Let's say, for example, right now, actually what I'm doing right now, I cross domain, the domain from veterinary medicine to education. Let's say, for example, let's say we mirroring, ask you to do what I'm doing right now. You as a teacher, and then you doing veterinary medicine, in other way around. You say, oh my God, how do I want to juggle with all this kind of works? My job as a teacher is not so easy. How you expect me to do also to learn about animals? Okay, I want to tell you a story. You must not be afraid to try, and you must not afraid to make mistakes. Some people will enjoy your failure. Some even will pay to see it. They will not understand that with every failure, you will get the success of learning. The person who tries and makes mistake is better than the person who does not try, because the person who does not try has not even started making mistake. You got me? The person who tries and makes mistake is better than the person who does not try, because the person who does not try has not even started making mistake. We take example before the plane takes off. Okay, the plane, for example, right? Last time we went to Singapore, we use a plane. Of course, we cannot walk. Before plane takes off, it first moves on the runway to gain momentum, because the plane does not rise instantly. It's not a balloon, So it needs to have a momentum. So there needs a runway. So the runway momentum is the key to the plane rising. You may seem to be working, but not rising, Your work every day following your dreams, but your situation does not get any better. This is the truth, just like the plane. It's built for the sky. It's not a ship, This is plane, so it's built for the sky. You are born for greatness. Everyone born for greatness. You may not be rising because you're on the runway, but you will rise when you have enough momentum. You don't have enough momentum, you'll still be there. So when you have gained enough momentum, not even the gravity can pull you down. In this case, gravity is someone who wants to see you fall, and people who discourage you. If you have been up before, you will understood you will have low moments also. A plane can't stay in the sky forever. It must land for servicing and refueling. Use your lowest moment to reflect and become a better you. Meaning sometimes you feel also, right? Oh, why do I make the whole mistake? Okay, never mind, I'll improve. When you improve, you tell your student, last time I made this kind of mistake. So make sure you don't make this mistake, So you improve. So use your lowest moments to improve yourself. This will prepare you for the next flight in life. Yes, you were born for greatness, so hit the runway. Back to you, Cikgu. Sure.
So does this mean that this advocate for technology never stop for you, doctor, for even after you retired? Is this
Yes, because you see, not just retired, every day
Uh.
also feel very tired.
all
Because so
right?
many things to do. We got the house chores, we got our children, we got our family, we got our job to do, and then we got also some kind of these education things to do also. So
Mm.
all the time is very well occupied. But if you really have deep passion, EASSION, nothing can stop you because you have very deep interest to it. So you love what you are doing. Nothing can stop you. Okay, don't tell you are very busy because definitely, no matter how busy you are, you will find time for yourself. You see, time is a precious gift. Okay, because you can make more time. You can make more money, but you can make more time.
Mm.
Okay, so meaning that sometimes you know how much money you have, but you don't know how much time left for you.
Mm.
Your time is very short. So whatever you want to do in this world, you better do it now.
Mm.
Because when you pass already your time, you cannot turn back, you cannot come back to the whatever happened tomorrow. You cannot rectify it. This is not such thing or time travel.
Mm.
So that's why I'm telling you like that. You can make more time, you can make more money, but you can make more time. Time is exactly 24 hours. So you must know how to manage these 24 hours with your passion, whatever you want to do. If you cannot do these 24 hours, you do another 24 hours for the kind of things. So you must have a plan. So these IT things, they help me a lot of things, like Google Calendar, Google Keep, Microsoft OneNote. If not, it was impossible to do multitasking. How you want to remember so many things? How you can be a very good person? How you can be a very good speaker, good motivator, good veterinarian, and good in ICT? You can't remember so many formulas in Google Sheet and Excel as well, right? But if you keep doing it every day, every single day, everything will just at the fingertips. Back to you, Cikgu.
All right. So remember our listener passion, PASSION. Now, doctor, what advice do you have for other professions such as doctor who may want to get involved into education or community like what you experienced so far? And I believe you have good advice to those listener out there who also like other profession like lawyers. What would be your advice to them for them and for their school, right, doctor?
I think that the words is very simple. If you can't beat them, join them. Okay? Instead of giving resistance to them, give a full support. Number two. Number three is start learning.
Mm.
Stop pestering. Okay? Because I also start from zero. Because when people give you chance, if you don't take a chance, you won't stand a chance, they say.
Mm.
If you don't take a chance, you won't stay a chance. What come easy won't last long. What lasts long will not come easy. So my advice for them is they want to be somebody, they want to achieve what I'm achieving today, they need to have a positive thinking.
Mm.
Do not stop learning. So when positive thinking, keep the information flow inside you and keep delivering also back to the community. So for for my summary, this is just like Google missions. The Google mission statement is to organize the world information and make it universal, accessible, and useful for everyone. This is our missions in Google, right? So from there, I learned that the learning process shouldn't stop, no matter whenever you reach your retirement age as well. So when you reach certain age, you become very senior, you will full of knowledge and skill with you. You should deliver it back to the younger generations. And from there on, sir, the knowledge that you're giving to them will going to disseminate to all parts of the world, all parts of the country, all parts of the regions, and everyone will start remembering you. Remember last time when I talked about the importance of the educations? The 6 steps before you reach the reputation. When you have education, then you have examination. When you pass your exam, you got qualifications. Once you got qualification, you got certification. Once you have certification, you have received recognition. And lastly, you have reputations. Thank you, Sean.
All right. So thank you, Doctor, for
Yeah.
joining this podcast.
Yeah.
I hope that you are enjoying the whole experience with Champion Podcast.
Yeah.
Now, Doctor, what is your let me put it this way. What is your hope for our education, especially in Malaysia? I believe that you also heard a lot from teachers, but we rarely heard this kind of hope from our PTA's president, especially like you. What is your hope for our country's education? I think this is a voice that we should also heard. Our listeners should also know what's your hope for the country, especially in the education aspect. Yeah.
I hope for a better future for our children in the near future, whereby that our children we just not have a knowledge, just not have the skills, but they so know about how to respect their elderly as well. Because now the challenges right now is our children, especially in Z generation and Alpha generation, they use iPad as early as 2 years old. They learn a lot of things from YouTube. They learn a lot of things in the near future. Maybe they learn from AI, artificial intelligence. So, as a parent, as a senior, as a leader, would like to advise the other senior, the other parents, and the other leaders also. We should collaborate together to ensure that our young generations today will be guided properly and have a very good education and respect to their elderly in the near future. Because we don't want some, because when the way that we brought up last time, whenever we have certain issue, we like to complain. Why should we complain? Instead of complain, why don't we find ways for the problem and get a solution to it? So there's no wrong and true in this kind of answer. Sometimes when you have a problems. Okay. So my hope in the near future is that we have a better generations, energetic, futuristic, and also very well versed in their knowledge. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Doctor. So that's all for us from Champion Podcast. This is episode 3 with Dr. Basha. Right. That's all. Bye-bye.
Bye. See you.
Let's celebrate the educators who are shaping the future, one classroom at a time. This is the Champions Podcast. Let the journey begin. Welcome to the Champions Podcast. The show-
All right. So good morning to all, good afternoon, and wherever you watch. So this is the Champion Podcast. I'm your host, Sean. So today we are very grateful for our second episode. We are going to talk with the founder of Global Teacher Conversation, Miss Atika. So yeah, let us invite her in. So hello, Miss Atika. How are you today?
Hello, Sean. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me here on the podcast. So glad to be here.
All right. So to start off, Miss Atika, could you tell us a little bit more about yourself and your background, and what led you to become a
Champions Podcast, the show where we celebrate the educators who are changing the game in the world of learning. Champions Podcast will take you on a journey through the inspiring stories of educators who teach with a mission, leaving an indelible mark on their schools and the lives of their students. Subscribe now, and together, let's celebrate the educators who are shaping the future, one classroom at a time. This is the Champions Podcast. Let the journey.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to my viewers wherever you are watching. So today we are on our 4th episode for our Champion Podcast, and today I'm very glad that I can invite someone very special, which is for me is quite cool. The things that he do for Google, the things that he does for Google is quite interesting. So today our guest is Yuto. Yuto. Yeah, so let us invite him inside this podcast. So Yuto, yeah, this
Hi
is Yuto.
guys.
All right. So before we start, I believe that all our listeners want to know who is Yuto and can you tell a little bit about your background, Yuto?
Okay. Hi everyone. I am Yuto. Of course, I'm from Japan, but right now I live in Singapore, and it's been 6 years and a half already. And yeah, like I'm working in. I mean, I started living here because I got a job here as a school teacher in Japanese school, Singapore, and I worked there for 5 years, and then I resigned there, and then I started my own company, and yeah, now it's been 1 year and a little bit after since I like started my own business. Yeah.
All right. So since you already mentioned about your company, can you tell us more about your company and what's your company name, Yuto?
Okay. My company name is You Go Anywhere, and I do like basically educational services to adults and kids. Yeah, like teaching technologies, basically teaching technologies. Yeah.
All right. All right. So you talk can you tell me your journey, tell to our listener your journey from Japan to Singapore, and what made what is the tipping point, where's the spark come from? Because I believe that not many Japanese will go far and then will come to Asia, will come to places like Malaysia or Singapore to start a new living. Why you decide to take this route, Yuta? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
good
Right.
question. I mean, so the working in Japanese school in Singapore it was my first job right after I graduated college, and at that time I wanted to live abroad. This is the first things, like anywhere in the world except Japan, I needed to experience at first. Then at that time I was planning to go back to Japan after 3 years staying in Singapore, because at the time I was quite interested in like English education in Japan. But like working in Singapore, and then there was no English class. I mean, no teaching English at school, because I was at first I was an art teacher, so then I kind of gradually like less interested in English education, but but gradually I also getting interested in technologies, especially in education. Yeah.
All right.
So
Talking about
go ahead.
yes, talking about technology, what made you kaput after that? That means go far from what you want to about to tell us. Yeah, you can continue, Yuta.
Oh wait, say it again.
Okay. Just now you say from art to technology, right? So what it made me interested is what made you change that direction. I believe that you tell us, right? Yes. Right. Continue,
Okay.
Yuta. Right.
Like I mean, at first the art teacher was not what I wanted. Actually, it just because there was a available spot. That's why I became an art teacher. But the technology things, I like at first I didn't teach technology to kids. I was just a classroom teacher, like after a art teacher. So, but like in the school, it was quite like really left behind with technologies, like using paper to share the information with other teachers, and we have to print it and then put it everyone's table. So, but I knew we should change it, the way we work, like to the technology side. So at first I created some like a lesson planner for teachers. I created for everyone's in my school. Then I shared it with everyone, and they said, "Wow, this is great." So then that gave me more courage to do it.
Yuta, about that school, is it that school at first that you, because based on your LinkedIn
Mm.
profile, the first school is not Japanese school, is it? So,
It was Japanese school.
oh, all right. So, so how does the teachers in those traditional setting accept these changes? Is it hard at first or how?
Yeah, like at first, yes, and some was. I mean, they needed to use this kind of lesson planner before, but it was like everyone's in like individual lesson planner, so it was not the same. So that's why they were still used to technologies. I mean, lesson planner in digital, but of course there was some like they couldn't accept how you do it because I mean I think this is not only Japanese, but
Yes.
we sometimes don't like to change something because when you need to change you feel some stress. So that's why I mean I'm quite okay with changes, but like those who working as a teacher in Japan for a long time, they don't change. So they basically do the same things, basically. So that's why if they needed to change it to technologies, and they had some stress about it. And some, of course, they are not used to technologies and they cannot handle it well. That's why, of course, some kind of give me some comments about it, but still okay. I could handle it. I mean, I just wanted to talk with them. Yeah. So that's how I solve it.
So you start from there. I believe that because I also go through your YouTube channel, right? I think I should also introduce to our viewer too. Let me find that first. Okay, this is the channel that Utah. Okay, you guys can subscribe to Utah channel, right? Which is quite interesting. So can you from there? I believe that that's where you started this YouTube channel, right, Utah?
Yeah.
So do you have any good feedback from this YouTube channel, and what made you eager to do more contents? Because I believe that this YouTube channel is mainly for Japanese teacher, and like a teacher from outside from Japan, like me, actually after digging in your channel, I actually kind of want to learn, but I couldn't learn because I couldn't have Japanese. So yeah, what's your starting content? Right, yeah, Yuta. Okay, yeah.
So like reason why I started the YouTube channel, is it?
Yeah, why you started the YouTube channel, and how does it progress from the first time that you introduced this to the Japanese teacher? Because from what I found out, you also appear at NHK General TV, which is a huge success for a teacher. So yeah.
NHK, is it?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. At the beginning, like it was under COVID-19, and like I needed to create some tutorial videos for my students in my school, and then I felt like, oh, if I need to create these videos, then why don't I just share it with other teachers? Because I had known like teachers in Japan also needs this kind of tutorial videos. So that's why I started a YouTube channel, and like it's just so easy to share. And also I feel like no need to create, like you don't need to create new videos. I create it. So you just like share it and let students watch it. So then like, and also the teachers in Japan are basically too busy to create these kind of things, like too many things to do. So this is one of the like problem in Japan, but they still, I mean, actually they are still busy, but at that time, like under COVID, they of course they feel more busier than usual because they need to deal with COVID, and also like they have to give the students some teaching. So I knew there was no time for creating it. Yeah. So and then at first I shared it with in Facebook. I shared it on Facebook. Like I created this video and you guys can watch it. And then I shared it with some other groups in Facebook. Then they really liked it because this is what they needed. So I basically tried to create something useful to the teachers in Japan. So then like some like contacted me and create some, they just say like, oh, this is great, thank you so much. Then this kind of encouragement makes me more like happy, and also like motivation to create more. Yeah.
Right, you talk about, since it's mainly more on Japanese, right? I believe that my viewer, most of them is from Malaysia and all around Asia. Will you start another channel which also create the same content but in English? Will you do that in the future for us?
I guess. I'm not gonna create a new channel. In the same channel, but it's actually yesterday I took a video of about Google Champion Symposium, but it was everything is in Japanese. But with these days technologies, I think I can create it like in the English, like easily, just convert it to the English. I think I can do it. Yeah. Without I speak English. Of course I can speak English, but of course I feel comfortable with Japanese. So maybe I take a video in Japanese and then just convert it with AI to English. Yeah, I think I will do it. Yeah.
I look forward to it. So now how the next question I think is also quite close to you. How does Google education impact you after that? Because from what I found out, Google mostly encounter part of your life, like 80%. If I go through your portfolio, so how does it change you? Yeah, from your work as an educator, because I believe that you also give lots of talks in Google Singapore from what I found out. So can you share on that? Yeah.
Oh, like how? Wait, what's the question again?
Okay, my question is, how do Google for Education impact you as an educator? Because from the portfolio that you share online, you have lots of invitation, and it sort of conquer your life 80% of your life, and your life now is mostly on Google. So how does it impact you now? Yeah, yes, Yuta.
Oh, maybe like share and like collaboration. Like, I think the collaboration part, I think affect me a lot. Like because students can like share their thoughts each other in the same let's say Google Slides, and they see each other's opinion, and it's quite seamless, and I think this is what I love. Yeah.
Right. So I believe that our listener also want to know whether is there a chance for Malaysian listener or even other listener from Thailand, from Indonesia, because from my data there is Indonesian listener that follow my podcast already. So how do we find you to collaborate? Further, if we want to find, let's say, Yuta, we want to invite you over to our school at Indonesia. Is it possible, Yuta?
Yeah, can. You mean how should they connect with me?
Yeah.
Oh, on the Twitter, email. Anywhere is okay.
Right.
Maybe the here the Yubobo is handle name.
All right.
I basically use this for the Twitter, Instagram. Yeah, I think everything.
So listeners, if you want to contact Yuta, that's the handle from Yuta. So that now let's go on. Now, could you mention some of the most effective Google education tools and strategies that introduced in your classroom so far? Right, I repeat again. Yeah, now, all right. So now we proceed to the next question. Could you mention some of the most effective Google for education tools and strategy you could introduce on in your classroom that you have introduced in your classroom? Because from what I found out, you are quite expert in doodles. You are quite expert in slide and so on. So, which one is the most effective tools in your classroom now? You are teaching young learners, right? Yeah.
I think, I think slides.
Can you share?
I love. I mean, for the adults, of course, spreadsheets. But I mean, if they're getting good at technologies, and I think most of them like the spreadsheets. But for the education part and for the kids, I think slides is just good enough. Like creating some stories or like books or like creating the game, everything can be done in Google Slides. So I think Google Slides is the best for me.
Right. Can you share more to us? What have you done with Google Slide, and what are the success story that you have to do with Google Slide? Because we listeners don't have those information. So can you share to us more? Yeah.
Okay. I think like there was one student like with special needs, and wait a sec, my earphones. Wait a sec.
You can also share also. It's okay.
The student had needed special needs, and he couldn't talk. I mean, he couldn't talk well. So, but he also likes train. So, what I did with him was like creating the train book in the Google Slides, like because he has lots of photos of the train, and sometimes with him in the photo, and also in Japan there's tons of trains everywhere. So he created some picture and what is it called, and also where is it, and also how did he think about it. So this kind of things he created like around 10 pages, and then once he created everything, then we printed out and then created like a physical book. So it was quite nice way to use Google Slides.
Do you have any example to show to us? No, yes.
Oh, I know. What else? Maybe like of course the shogi project, also one of my favorite. I mean, I think you know it, but the shogi project is like those who living in, especially in Singapore, the Japanese students, they are not familiar with Japanese culture. But also some parents and also some teachers want kids to experience some Japanese things. So that's why I created the shogi board game. Shogi is like a Japanese chess, and it's just a chess, but you can play with others in the Google Slides. I created in the Google Slides, and everything is made in Google. Like for the image, I use the Google Drawings, and also for the character, I love pixel art, so I created some pixel art with Google spreadsheets. Yeah, then everything, once I created all the images for the shogi project, and I put it all together to the Google Slides to let them play. Yeah, and kids love it.
Right, interesting. So now, what is your advice for educator like you, a teacher like you, that want to look to integrate technology, especially those new to Google for education, because I believe that even for now, even though we as trainers, we keep on how to say, want everyone to take up the Google, but we know that every time when we try to balance the traditional and the modern type of teaching is sometimes didn't balance. So what's your advice or in this for this integration, and what should they do as a new teacher in this?
The teachers means they're not familiar with technologies, or
Some teachers that are new and also still not quite familiar with education.
I guess like enjoy learning, enjoy learn new things, because I mean, these days everything is changing. So if you are not like used to change something, then you definitely feel some stress from changes. So that's why we need to learn new things, because if you know something new, then you feel kind of satisfied with what you learned. So maybe you might get some idea from me today, then that's really great. And also, like, of course, there are many things that I'm not sure about. So these things I eager to learn, and also like especially if you wanna do something for education, then definitely something new. I mean, like with these days, like everything is changing. So that's why what we need to teach kids also changing. Of course, some basics we still remain as before, like a little bit of calculation, or like numbers and the data, or like language. These are like basically same, especially for the primary school. But we need to change the way we teach, and maybe not teaching. Like teaching is something that AI do, or like technology does. So we just need to be a facilitator sometimes to let the students experience and learn something new. So these kind of things are what we need, like change our mindset, not kids, us. What we need is like make ourselves better learner. And this is what I think. Yeah.
So talking about making us better, right? So I have a quite challenging question for you, Yuta. In the future, because you say we have to adapt, right? Is it okay for AI to take over our teaching role in the future next time? What do you think, Yuta?
Teaching role,
Yeah.
AI should do it.
All right.
I mean,
why?
for the teaching, for the mentally, like kids need adults, definitely. Still, AI cannot do it, I guess. But the teaching, I mean, it doesn't have to be AI. Maybe like already created a good content. These kind of things, like kids can learn it better without teacher. They just some play some games